don't know what's going on with my intro. Hello? Well, you know what? Enough of that. It's doing that on your side too. Hello? Hello? Okay. Well, we took that off. Hey, Carrie. Thanks for coming through. Sorry about that. You know, Mercury was going retrograde in a couple days now on the 17th. Soon. Soon be back, yeah. Soon be back. Let's see. So we can talk about, what's this going to do? We are still doing our 5K giveaway with Love Island merch, even though I feel like the season blew up. I don't know. This isn't what they said it was going to be. So I'm like, it feels like the season is blown to me. I'm not sure. So we can talk about a number of things today. Whatever you guys want to talk about, we can talk about. Yes, NicOlandria for the win. Let me see. Remove. Yeah, you see I have NicOlandria for the win. And I'm hoping that Huda finally gets sent home. I'm not sure why they would let her win. And no, they're in a safety ring, Carrie. They are in a safety ring, okay? Because that was all that was left. That was all that was left. I don't know. They didn't even. That's because Chase, that's Shelly and Ace, took the last vote. As it turned out, that was the last vote, her last chance, and now she's in a safety ring with Chris, whose mom could have saved him, but the mom and the sister were like, "You got yourself into this. You can get yourself out." They know on the outside world how the world's been going crazy, how the hood rats, they call them, have been going crazy. And they don't want that stuff coming to their job. They don't want them looking up her address, trying to report her. Yeah. So his mom and sister were like, the way she was like, "No, don't have anything to say." Said everything to me. I was like, that means she actually has a lot to say, but she's not going to say it. She is not going to say it. So that's that picture, but we can also talk about what happens if I do this? Give them a door like on Titanic. Huda can be Jack. Right? Huda can be Jack. Oh, that is so funny. But I actually saw was it on TikTok? Because TikTok, Love Island USA has an account on TikTok. And they answered somebody on today. They were like, oh, Maya Papaya is our fave. And they commented under that was like either it or that was their fave too. And did anybody else notice that in the package last night with the families too, they left a lot of Nick and Olandria stuff out? Isn't that interesting? I feel like we didn't get as much time with Nick and Olandria's parents as we did. Like, why did we see 20 minutes of Amaya Papaya and her parents, except for to sway the vote to, oh, how sweet, oh, her family, oh, this, oh, that. Because if anything, everybody should have got 20 minutes. If that's the case, everybody should have got a surprise. The the freaking Zoom on the wall didn't break down, your parents snuck in kind of thing. What was that? See how they stack the deck? Like that is pure stacking the deck. That is pure stacking the deck. I know a cheat when I see one. They were stacking the deck. Let's see. I was just trying this new feature over on my TikTok. I'm trying to get my $25,000. My $25,000. Yeah, that's what it'll be worth one day. I have a TikTok, my very first TikTok since like 2021, and I have like 24,000 people in there. And I have been locked out. Well, actually, I chose to self-lock out and not participate because they kept hitting 1-2 on me with all these freaking violations. So I was like, well, let me see what happens. So it looks like they're slowly opening up some of my features. And yeah. So I was uploading over there. Carrie says, Taylor finally admitted that Nick was interested in Olandria from the beginning. Exactly. And Taylor is a cock blocker because he knew his best friend. He jumped over Olandria to get to Nick is how much that's his best friend. And he didn't want his best friend to explore Olandria so bad. He was so into using and hindering Olandria. This is Taylor. He was so into doing that to Olandria that he stopped Nick from getting to know Olandria, in my opinion, on the loyalty tip. And then when they were doing all the questions, I'm going back and forth, Carrie. Then when they were doing all the questions to the couples about the different things, the one word that got them together. They didn't give me Nick and Olandria's word. They hardly gave me any Nick and Olandria. It's so stacked. So stacked. Not fair at all. Not fair at all. But hey, then what do they say actually? All's fair in love and war, right? So technically, yup. Let's see. Yeah, he said that I'm back to this right here. Show. So Carrie says Taylor finally admitted that Nick was interested in Olandria from the beginning, and so did Bella. Did anybody see Bella's interviews? Numerous interviews. She said that everybody said they wanted to get to know each other, but then didn't, and they think it was because of like loyalty or something to their others. Like for some reason, Nick didn't want to break. Nick didn't want to, do anything to mess with Sierra for whatever reason, when I think he should have. And Olandria didn't do herself a service either by not exploring that, at least in a way where we could see it, because now people are like, oh, it's as forced as freaking Pepe and Iris. And how the NPCs just floated in the back like, oh, they're not a threat. Oh, they're not a threat. Just kept on not voting their asses off. And now look at what we have. Like, had Huda been gone when she was supposed to be gone after she crashed out on Jeremiah, which I think was more of a significant impact in a negative way on the overall experiment of Love Island than even Ace and his kind of breaking of the fourth wall to the point where he was, talking about Jeremiah's game and enlisting others to actively watch his game, hate on his game, and ultimately use his game in a game as the reason to get it off, because it wasn't the way Ace would have played his game. But you see, Ace played itself, worrying about another man's game, which is my point from the beginning about Ace, is I love him as a dance. As soon as I found out about the show and Ace was the guy that was teaching everybody around the world to dance, I was like, yes. I was like, oh my God, I want him to win. I got over the fact that he was a mere 22 and Shelly is 27. I got over that fact because she's young at heart and he is mature passing. I say mature passing because he kind of had little fits here and there whenever he really did get challenged on stuff. And then he called it standing on business, but you never answer the question, bro. So, yeah, Ace brought it on himself. So, but I feel like Huda's in particular crash out affected everybody else's energy and took so much attention that they too weren't able to focus on their own connections and had to go pay attention to the fake tears of Huda. Do you guys think like she pinches herself in a place we can't see to make herself cry like that? Or is she like putting her nails in her hand or something? Or is she like I just don't understand like the whole cry on command. Well, no, actually. I used to want to be able to do that when I was in acting classes. And I used to have a trick where if I thought really long and really hard about my dog that ran away in the rainstorm, that I could make like my eyes at least well up, you know? And that was a go-to Insta cry for a long time. But I never used it like on a person to victimize myself in a situation that like I actually caused. I don't know. No. That was like totally a reserve for acting kind of a thing. Like I was a trick, you know? Because anybody who saw Ghost, the movie with Demi Moore, yeah, you guys, you millennials and Gen Zs might not know, but there's this movie called Ghost with Demi Moore, classic, Patrick Swayze, classic. Oh my gosh. So in that movie, she cries a single tear like no other. Academy Award winning single tear, y'all. And so, yeah, every actress needs to be able to cry a single tear on command without it being like you, the sir. Anyway, that was a choo choo back on the track, back on the track. Carrie says, Ace really proved to me that he is indeed a hater. Hashtag after sun. He said he wanted Amaya to win. Shelly too. I know. I was taken aback by that because they just sat down with Taylor and Clark. So for them to have been there with Nick and Olandria, who's supposed his brother and supposed Shelly's sister, and then they're rooting for Amaya because she went through something, but didn't Olandria to go through something dealing with freaking Tay Tay's ass, stringing her along? I literally thought he was neurodivergent the way he never could look at Olandria. I was like, oh, he looks a way to understand. I was giving him so much space for his like neurodivergence. Come to find out, it was just he couldn't even stand to be around her like that because he can't. He looks at Clark, fine, no problem. I'm not saying that he might not be neurodivergent. I feel like we all might be, but yeah, I feel like he totally strung Olandria along. And Olandria, not having been in a relationship in 5 years, didn't understand completely, even though she's 27, the naivete of a relationship comes into play because you're in this capsulated event where people, I mean, why not be real? There's cameras everywhere that caught your conversation with everybody else saying how you're not attracted to her. So why not be real with the one who you laying in the bed with for 20 days? And then expect for her to not have a feeling that it took 24 hours for you to all of a sudden know how to kiss and be warm and intimate with somebody and pay them attention and a vibe. That's how it was proof to me that, oh, she just made me have a feeling. It's a feeling you always knew you had that you withheld from Olandria because you were not into her. But you played into her when Jalen came in the house. You played into her enough to and told her everything she needed to hear like a letter from a jailhouse. Mm-mm. Wasted 20 days of Olandria's experiment. And all because Olandria played herself also by leaning into her, I'm a slow burner and he's okay with it, not understanding that anybody, most men are not into like just totally waiting, especially immature 24-year-old Tay Tay. Um, yeah, yeah, because you see the way he pounced with freaking Clark. So that meant to me that he'd been waiting to pounce the whole time and you just weren't his aesthetic. Because for some reason, when you're around, he feels like he has to pull his pants up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's not her fault that her presence and elegance makes people, men specifically, like try to put their best foot forward. Yeah, you better if you're gonna step to her. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Ace really proved to me that he's a hater after Sun because he wanted Amaya to win, Shelly too. Well, wait till he gets back to the real world and finds out that half the reason he lost was because of the hate that he got because of Amaya faking and fronting like he talked to her and attacked her by clearly establishing his boundaries in a very respectful, demure way. And she took that back and cried about it because he had a boundary. And I just need to be able to be with somebody that I can be myself. Well, so does he, obviously. That's why he was telling you about his boundary. Maybe he was hoping you guys could meet in a happy middle. But no. Amaya called the Popo practically and made a false police report about Ace's treatment of her. And on the outside world, all the viewers are like, F Ace, he attacked Amaya. How dare he? And talking to right now, still saying in chats that he started it. It was because of him that Austin treated her like that too and pointed out that she's overly affectionate. And it was because of Ace that Zach also mentioned that, hey, you know, the babes are too much. It's all Ace's fault. None of it is Amaya's fault. None of the babes out of her mouth are her. None of that's her doing. And I love her. Never said I was perfect. I never said I didn't have any flaws. Yeah, you didn't. And you played off like this man attacked you to the point where you knew you were so wrong that in the last episode, you said your pit was that you played him off like he attacked you. But now his ass is voted off because you said he attacked you. And everybody's like, why is he smashing papayas? Why is he smashing papayas? She's so sweet. She's so quirky. So interesting is also what it is. For Shelly, though, to lead with, you can see the connection. To lead with Amaya has been through so much. When she knows as her black self, well, no, I guess she'll find out also that the reason that she lost all her followers was also because of a fake narrative of attack against Huda. So maybe she'll read. I don't know. I don't know if she even should. I mean, she thinks what she thinks for a reason, right? And it's her prerogative. However, Olandria and her were supposed to be sisters, I thought. So why not just root for her on GP as your sister? So I'm not sure how she was like either one of those, but doesn't even mention Olandria's name. It's so interesting the way, I don't know if that was an edit like everything else, how Nick and Olandria get cut out of everything else, or if she literally said, or either one of those. Like, you know what I mean? Interesting. I just don't understand, but I do understand a good setup when I see one. Still love Shelly though. Yeah, I still follow her. Of course. We love the Shelly. She's gorgeous. our chocolate Barbie. And freaking, we had two chocolate Barbies. Freaking Alondria also. They're both. Carrie says Amaya got too much time, got too much screen time on the pre-finale. That's what I'm saying too. Like that influences votes. Out of sight, out of mind. Duh. They know the routine. They know what they're doing. They pushed the narrative. They've allowed it to exist. They say don't cyberbully some. When a brand comes out and cyberbullied Shelly and said that she should have a knuckle sandwich, a white knuckle sandwich at that, served because she attacked Huda because she spoke up to Huda and also established her clear boundary. I noticed a pattern on this show this season where when Black people were establishing clear boundaries, it's a problem for the non-Black people. Yeah, I noticed it. Olandria said, "Oh, don't do that right now," when Huda was trying to embarrass her because she said, "Oh, you don't have a real man," or something like that. In one of the first times that Huda weaponized her tears against the Black girls, all because she said, "Oh, don't do that," because she was trying to draw attention to something that could have been seen as negative or whatever. And it's like, we could just move on from that. Why are you trying to stop here? Was Olandria's point. And Huda starts crying. Go over there. Huda starts crying at the fact that Olandria basically shushed her in a very polite way. She wasn't like, "Bitch, you better stop," or nothing. She was like, "Girl, just wait on that." Right? And Huda went and was like, "Did you see it? She took to me. Hello, police. She threatened me. Oh my God. Oh my God. She's coming after me. Oh my God. Oh my God. And I understand why she's so mean. Why is she so mean? Why is she coming after me like that? Oh my God. It hurts. She talked to me in a nice, civil way, and I just can't take it because I'm gonna crash out and she'll be seen better than me because she acts better than me. And so I have to victimize myself because I didn't get to embarrass her the way that I wanted to, officer. You have to come quick. She's getting closer. She won't leave the villa. Oh my God, officer. Mean Olandria. Mean Olandria. She said she'd do for me to I couldn't embarrass her. What'd you say, officer? You can't come to Fiji? Okay, never mind. Such a faker. Such a fakey McFakerson. And anybody who's paying attention with two eyeballs and because they let that part stay in the edit. They might have cut out a lot, but they left enough in the edit for me to see that she weaponizes her tears against specifically brown and Black people. Well, no, specifically Black people, because there wasn't no brown in it. She's there. They consider her brown because, of her ethnicity. And also Papaya's brown too. She's Afro-Latina, I believe. I'm not sure. I don't know. Her hair looks like it's Afro. So, and her mom said they're Latina. So I was just putting it together, but I'm not. Hey. So then another time that Huda weaponized her tears was when Jeremiah was setting up healthy boundaries. And then she had to go cry about it. He was being so mean to her. Oh my God, you're so mean to me. I just don't understand why you say words out of your mouth that I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear those words because they're not what I want to hear. I only want to hear what I want to hear. Shut up. I'm going to keep putting hickeys on you no matter what. Why do you keep saying words? That's how she did Jeremiah. And then the time that Shelly was like, no, that was after JD. So then with JD, she got pissed when JD was like, "You like to be dominant, huh? You like to be dominant." Yeah, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You're dominant. You're dominant, huh? Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like to be dominated. I'm not into it, bro. No, no, you're dominant. You're dominant. I just had to teach you. I just had to lead you. No, no, you're dominant. I don't like it. And then she runs across the thing. Oh, he said, and then Shelly at the didn't Shelly tell her she didn't want to talk after she smashed Ace's face with her thong while her butt was still in it? Didn't Shelly tell Huda very quietly and like even over to the side, like nobody even has to know that I'm gonna shun you right now, girl. Can we talk? Let's go over here. You know what? I really don't want to talk right now because I'm upset and I don't want to say anything while I'm upset. So we can talk tomorrow when I'm not upset. And what do you guys think Huda did? Ah, oh my God, oh my God, move, Milo, move it, go sit down. I'm not really crying, I'm imitating Huda, I'm fine. My dog is an emotional support animal, obviously. As soon as I start almost crying, he comes right over and he's like, ah. I think I might have trained him from when my dad died because when my dad died, he would just comfort me so much. And now he knows the sound and the frequency, but he can't, his tail is wagging. Yeah, get your pee paws off of me. Your pee paws. I don't want the location on here. Let's post that. Okay, so cancel. Okay, move it, my mind. Hey, you're between me and them. Let's see. No, Mom won't move. I'm not petting you right now. You're so sweet. I love you though. Milo is so sweet, but your feet, you stink. You stink. Get down. Get down. You stink so bad. I just don't like the smell of dog, you guys. I don't even know why I have a dog. Because I love him so much. I love him. My son wanted a dog. He got a dog, and I love him too, but he stinks. I have a very sensitive nose. He knows it. I'm like, you just walked outside. Get away from me. Yeah, he knows not to give me kisses and everything. Like, I have him pretty well trained. I'm like, you can love me, but you better not lick my face. I don't really like a lot of licks at all because I saw those videos of the amputees after they get licked by their own dogs and stuff. They're like, this never happened before. So Taylor asked him to not pursue Olandria because Nick already had 2 connections and Taylor only had 0. And that's because we know that Olandria is loyal to a fault and that she likes an underdog. And she knew that nobody else was checking for Taylor's goofy ass. Well, Bella was. Bella actually said that she was supposed to explore Taylor, but then I don't know why she didn't explore Taylor if she was about to get voted off and he wasn't attracted to Olandria. I don't know. I don't know. Ace and Shelly, best friends, are so in the house, but they said Amaya for the win, just as fake as we thought they were. Right? Right? And then even after they get exclusive, all of that, like I just didn't feel, I'm not feeling like passion and from them. I don't know. It's like 6 weeks of back and forth. You should have like ripped each other's clothes off if it's about spitting in your hand. Yeah, still in the house. Ghost is the best, right, Carrie? Oh my gosh. And that one tear, tell me about it, okay? Wasn't that a great one tear cry? Remember when she was at the pottery wheel? That one tear all across the world. Women were like, oh my gosh, we felt that one tear. Oh my gosh. And the shadow people came to life and took their spirits to the dark place. And Brian just got there. Exactly. And Ace still didn't say Nick. Exactly. And he's like, that's my brother. That's my brother. I'm going to miss my brother, brother. Yeah, the same kind of brother that kicked Jeremiah off. He's like, I thought they were my bros. He's still talking about it. He's like, yeah, they are the most toxic. Ace, Nick, Ace, Taylor, Nick, and Huda. He said we're the most toxic. Yep. Taylor said he wanted Nick and O to win, though. At least Taylor did say that. At least Taylor did say that because he jumped over Olandria to get to Nick. So he still loves Nick a lot. He does. And he knows that Nick helped him get to Clark because Nick didn't pursue Olandria earlier when he knew they were both interested in each other. So that helped keep Taylor in a position to even meet Clark and fall in love in 2 days. Uh-huh. And Ace knew Taylor strung her along. Yep. Now that Ace is gone, he don't want to win, but he was the one saying us to the end, man. Ace is fake. Yeah, it's given fake AF. And it's unfortunate because he's so likable. Darn, it's like his whole shadow side is really playing out for us. It's too bad that he has no idea how he came off. Like he really thinks because 3 people in the house agreed with him that he's like in the right. And when he sees the way people reacted and the reason, and then by association, Shelly got brought down because people didn't want Ace to win because he went against Jeremiah. But then for all of them to go against Jalen when Jalen hadn't done nothing to them in order to save Huda, like they all kind of bit themselves in the foot with that, you know? And then how they had different rules for different people. Uh-huh. Yes. Hey, Allie from Miami. Thanks for coming through. Ace doesn't want Nick to win. That's a hater, y'all. Yep. You don't watch Love Island, but I hope someone finds real love. Me too. I hope they find real love. Real love. I'm hoping for real love. Someone's my life with real love. I'm hoping for real love. Woo. And Amaya crashed out on Shelly. Yeah, after she went and kisses, she crashes out on Shelly for not saying that she was into Ace, but Ace had told her she was into Ace Shelly. And then she goes and has a yoga session with Austin, who she knows is into Shelly, and has a secret kiss with Austin. Yeah, so that's kind of like I don't never see her tell Shelly about that kiss. So Shelly was like, oh, when did that happen? When Austin chose her. But it was because she was going around doing her superpower of kissing, which actually wears off, you guys, if you didn't notice. Her superpower of kissing got her in the house with Ace. But he was like, as soon as the power wore off. And then it got her in a cup with Austin. And then it was like, and the power wore off. And then it got Zach K to keep her on the island and choose her over Olandria, who didn't kiss him, but who he still wants to kiss to this day. And it got her in the house again. And then he too was like, And so I don't know why the superpower didn't like stick. And so now we have Brian, who she kissed and has spit in her hand with several times, pre-hideaway, hideaway, and post-hideaway. So they've been getting it in. She's gonna leave like that meme of the pregnant lady with her belly out in the cutout dress. She not careful because I only saw one condom. I only saw one condom. I don't know if they share or what, right? They was all giving hater to me on the after sun, especially Clark. I mean, Clark is beautiful, and I love that she's a cheerleader. Give me a C, give me a LARKE. What's that spell? Bye. So yeah, that's what she's giving. Yes, all the families. They didn't show us all the families. Like, I don't feel like that was fair for Papaya to get 20 minutes with her family and then 2 minutes with Nick and Olandria when on the outside world, Nick's mom, who happens to be an actress, you guys, somebody put a picture up of, she either looks just, she has a doppelganger who's an actress or his mom is an actress and he just hasn't mentioned it, but loves Olandria and has been making videos since like the first week about how she wants her son to be with Olandria, who she finally ended up with. It was funny when she sat down with Nick though and was like, "In public, Nicholas?" He's like, "Mom, it wasn't technically public." And he's like, "Okay, enough of that, enough of that." Huda only cries against Black people. Yep. Nick voted her off twice, said she should go home to her face, and no tears with Nick, though. Yep. And when Hannah confronted her about the Pepe thing, nothing. But Black girls say, "I don't want to talk now." And she cries and runs around the house like she's had the freaking worst of the worst happen. I don't even have a thing because I don't know how to, just don't have space for that bitch. She's dangerous. She gives me Emmett Till's accuser. That's the kind of danger it is. Yeah, I took it there because you might think it's small, but it's big. Anybody who can weaponize that kind of energy against a Black person on command and knowingly only against Black people, because there was way worse situations with white people and you didn't have nothing to say, lady. No challenge, no pushback. Oh, I understand. Nick says, "Yeah, I want you gone." Oh, I understand. Shelly says, "You're not a girl's girl." Oh my God, why are you attacking me? See that? Yeah. So, but according to the many TikToks that we're seeing now, there is a there is no there is a lot going on. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, look, Barik Baruch Tawit Helu. Baruch Tawit Baruch Tawit. Hello, Baruch Tawit Helu. I'm in enemy territory. Perhaps you are. It depends on what you're coming with. Perhaps you are. Yeah. Continue to have a great day. Exactly. Love it. Amaya will never claim to be Afro anything. Okay, Carrie, thank you. I was not gonna take it there, but in my private conversations behind the screen, that's why I was like, they may consider themselves POC, but I don't really see it. I feel like they would use it if they need to, but that's not how they're showing up in presenting in their everyday life. Like if anybody really pushes them on it at home, they're like, "Oh no, that's not my clan. That's not my clan. No, I'm over here. There's no afros before my life." Like how Evelyn Lozada pulled out Afro Latina after she put monkey emojis next to OG's name. All of a sudden, she's like, "Oh, I'm Afro Latina. I'm Afro Latina. I would never." But prior to that, she was like, "As a Latina woman, da 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 da." Da da da, Latina woman, this Latina woman, that. And it wasn't until after she got the pushback from OG that she actively started saying that she was Afro Latina. And then she was suing OG for calling her racist because she put those monkey emojis next to her, because in her mind, she could do that because, yeah. Anyway, A lot. Thank you, Carrie, for calling that out. Actually, I did hear that there is like some contention between DR and Afros. Um, and there's like this hierarchy in their minds that they're over Afros, even though their hair is as kinky, their skin is as brown. And they usually try, allegedly, to like, everybody mixes so that the color can stay the color of preference. And yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I heard. But yeah, Carrie, but that's just something that I heard. And actually, when that came into my mind in the whole hierarchy thing of her feeling over Afros, is how she did kiss um, Austin and yell at Shelley. And she, of all the people in the house, when she needed to stay, when she got to Casa Amor, she went and kissed Olandria's man again. So again, she goes against the Afros because in her mind, just like Ulissa, just like the Sierras, just like a lot of women, like they're just like are not seeing these melanated goddesses as a form of traditional beauty to the point of competition. And therefore, let me go get what you have because I can. You see what I'm saying? And so, yeah, that's just part of the Reddit threads, speculating um, stuff. But I really do just want everybody to get along and for that to not to really be true and all of that stuff. But hey, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, her mom was very clear. She did not say Afro nothing. Shelley was being emotionally mature. Yes, she was. And I noticed that another bad edit for this season of Love Island was that anytime a Black person in particular, a FBA, if you will, a foundational Black American, that's African American, Afro American, uh, what do they call them? ADOS, all those things. Because Amaya's Caribbean, Andriana's Caribbean, and Huda is Middle Eastern, Jordanian, Palestinian. And I don't know if that's the same as Middle Eastern. I don't know. I don't want her to get mad. But so they're all considered POC, but they don't see themselves as the C. Very interested, right? And so the edit to me represented the refusal to allow space for emotionally mature Black people, whether it's man or woman. Jeremiah, emotionally mature, edited as a love bombing, stringer alonger when he was the obvious victim in everything, who articulated what he was feeling in a mature way. And because Huda again weaponized her tears and his need for healthy boundaries, and she weaponized that very bad. So he came out the villain in that emotion, even though all he was an emotionally mature person, high emotional IQ, which she falsely represented to him, which was one of the reasons he even talked to her. And then we had Ace, who I already talked about, be emotionally mature. And he was calm and steady about, I don't really like to be touched. I kiss in challenges. And Amaya went ballistic. And then we have Olandria say very calmly, girl, we can talk about it later. And, oh, yeah, you want to just tell the class about, since you're saying that you're honest, why don't we just tell the class how honest you are because you and Chris were kissing. And again, that was something to be bad, you know? And it's just interesting. It's just that all the edits for the emotionally mature people who all happen to be Black was cut another way. And then for Taylor, who was obviously emotionally immature, for him to kind of get an edit like, oh, he's standing on business by choosing Clark over the person he strung along for all this time was also very telling. So it was a little flip in that case. So the emotionally mature people were villainized, and the emotionally immature guy who was black was praised. You see that? Did you see that? Are you following me? I might be reading too much into it, but my son is 17. And he came to me and he says, Mom, I heard this is a government psyop against black people. And so, like, I researched what that could possibly mean. Here, I'll Google it again right now. Let's see. It's basically a psyop. A PSYOP is short for psychological operations, a military term referring to actions intended to influence emotions, motives, objective reasoning, and ultimately the behavior of foreign governments, organizations, groups, and individuals. These operations use various methods, including information campaigns, to shape perceptions and achieve specific objectives. Here's more to the detailed breakdown. The purpose of a PSYOP aims to influence the targeted audience's decision making process and actions by manipulating their perceptions and beliefs. That's what I just said happened. Method: PSYOP employs a wide range of communication channels such as media, television, radio, social media, leaflets, loudspeaker broadcasts. That's what I just said. Target audience: the targets of PSYOP can be combatant groups, civilian populations, or a combination of both, which I've already mentioned with the, this is kind of becoming brown on brown crime, because now it's like Palestinians are like, oh, Huda and Olandria are evil. And the black girls are like, oh, Huda's evil, and they don't even really know what race she is. So, but it's becoming a they and the them situation. So the target audience is established. The goal is ultimately a PSYOP seeks to create desired behavioral changes in a target audience to support military objectives. And what's happening right now in Gaza, you guys? What's happening right now over in Palestine right now, right? So there's a lot of support. People don't like seeing all the murder, death, kill that's been going on over there. And it's really close to home when the people are your same hue, and, they're on the continent you originated from. And so how does it support a military objective in this case to have simple audience members of a show called Love Island, which happened to get like the most views of anything so far this summer, and so many people being influenced by an edit? And then they had this one guy who's on TikTok, and he says that he worked with special programming for Peacock on Love Island in a manner such as this to purposefully cast and edit situations to influence the viewing audience's temperament and, or acceptance of, or insert here. You see what I'm saying? I might be going too deep for you guys. um, Historical context: why the term psychological operations is relatively recent, the practice influencing populations through psychological means is ancient. The U.S. military formalized psychological operations as a branch with dedicated units and personnel like PSYOP soldiers and PSYOP officers. The term PSYOP was briefly replaced with military information support operations, MISO, but has since returned to its original name per Army Special Operations Command guidance. PSYOP in the military: PSYOP soldiers are assessed for their intellect, critical thinking, adaptability, and mental resilience. They analyze operational environments, develop and influence strategies to assess the effectiveness of their actions. PSYOP units conduct military information support operations, deception activities, and partner capacity building. In some cases, they may also provide information support to civil authorities. Um, while often associated with negative connotations, some military experts say PSYOP is a legitimate military tactic used to influence behavior and achieve objectives in complex situations. You guys, like, it could have been part of the PSYOP too, to overly stimulate the Black populace with the whole Diddy being front page news while they erase an Epstein list. You think? I mean, not that we really was checking for an Epstein list, except for to find out all of the not melanated people on it who are like making decisions for the melanated and everyone else. That's the only reason we was looking. But now allegedly, Ghislaine Maxwell is in jail for something she didn't do, just like 34 counts is getting ready to pardon her or something, because there is no list allegedly now. And they're not sure why Epstein had to unalive himself in jail. So, okay. So here are the 7 steps of a PSYOP, and then we'll move on. Planning, target audience analysis, series development, and product development and design. Approval, product, distribution, dissemination, and then evaluation. Okay. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, you guys can do your own bidding on that. I'm not real sure. Demi Moore was so beautiful in that movie, right? Right? And then she started getting weird freaking she got the a botched pretty much. They did her mouth too tight for like a decade. Remember, she was out of commission and then she finally got it corrected. Yeah, leave your face alone, people. Sometimes people's hands are shaky. Yeah, she was so beautiful. Remember, she was one of the first people to like embrace her baby bump in Hollywood and really glamorize the Hollywood starlet baby bump. And she went nude on the cover of, was it Vanity Fair, with her baby bump? And then she had it painted. And then she breastfed her daughter Rumor till she was 5 on set, you guys. So shout out to Demi Moore. Yeah. Amaya is too actual to act like a 13-year-old. Yeah, it's very off-putting. It's like shout out, yeah. Uh, are they doing a thing for like the edophilia? Is that for edophilia? And that's why it's so actual, right? I don't like seeing her with no man, only to watch scenes, yeah, with the girls or alone. That's when I like her the best too. It's kind of like the Shirley Temple complex, like you want a little girl kind of thing, and that's not giving. And Brian isn't very interested. I like that he talked to her beforehand of everybody finding out she was #1 to America. But I feel like he's a little through with her babies and over talking and all the extra energy, and he's just like, but he can stand it because, like you said, that's his culture. Like, he's cool, like, for right now, but I don't see them really, might prove me wrong, but I feel like they hunched too soon. She's already boned him like 3 times that we saw, and they've only been together 6 days. That is not how to get a man and keep a man, you guys. Hunching will only get you so far. It'll only get you so far. You get you to that 100K. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. All families sat down with each other. The only showed Amaya's and Brian sitting down. Exactly. So, because they were playing to the audience so that the psyop in the target audience would be able to humanize Amaya so much that it would influence the votes that were going to be taking place immediately following. Had they shown Nick and Olandria's family for an equal 20 minutes, it could change a lot. Had they shown all their little talks over the time, it could have changed a lot. But also, you guys, Leah and Miguel from last season um, said it was edited to make it look like how they end up together when the entire time all 6 weeks they were vibing. And then, but to everybody else, it was a surprise. So it felt fake. But they had been edited like that. And actually, production had actually stopped them from talking at times, because they were so into each other. So watch Black and Latina America is a documentary television series that aired on PBS in 2011 based on the book by Henry Louise Gates Jr. Oh, I heard of that author before. Black and Latin America. Yes, yes, yes. It's unfortunate that in a lot of the Caribbean countries, like there's a whole, um, I mean, it's like, dude, you're freaking browner than me, but you want to treat black people, you want to disassociate from that. It's cool when it's cool. It's very sad, but yeah, we should check that out. I will definitely check that out. Um, oh, that's Allie from Miami. Thanks for that input. I thought that was Carrie again. I love you, Allie. I dropped the link, Allie. Did you see it? Let's see. I'll redrop it because we can literally talk about anything. Hey, babe. I'm just in here. I'm gonna be hanging up these clothes, but I tried to take you guys in my closet and everything was just spinning. So I had to bring you out of the closet because the router doesn't reach that far, obviously, or there are too many walls, probably. It's too many walls. Um, that's why height in red pill content during 2020, while a lot of people were not physically in school. Yes. Brian and Chris said they won't be going to sleep with the girls, but folded. Exactly. I think it's because Huda and Amaya are their second and third choices. Not to mention their second and third choices, but they're on national TV. I mean, even guys sometimes have scruples, like you don't really have to smash a girl the third day. And there's people on the TV, like maybe they were cognizant of the freaking cameras and the vision cameras. Allie from Miami, thanks for coming up.
Sunday. Good morning.
Hey, happy Sunday, darling. How's everything going?
I'm doing good. I just saw you cook in and I was like, oh, maybe jump on.
Yeah, yeah, I'm glad you did. What do you want to talk about? I've been going on and on yabbering for about Love Island for an hour.
Well, I know tonight from, yeah, because I mean, I don't, I, for me, when it comes to these romantic competition, I can never get into it as much. I try, like I did like Love Hotel for a short second. I got bored. Yeah, I guess to me, I'm just a hopeless romantic and I just can't do the whole relationship thing. It just doesn't click to me. And then of course I'm absorbed with Housewives, and that's just freeing up any mental space that I have. I just can't take any more drama. It's so bad
Yeah,
I had to watch the Kardashians just so I could just like desensitize a little bit. Now you know it's bad when you gotta watch the Kardashians to get some normalcy in reality TV.
right. Well, that honestly, part of why I started watching the Love Island was because it was supposed to be a respite from the crazy toxicity and just fun. And I kind of I liked Love is Blind. And they were like, oh, it's kind of like fun like that. And I was like, okay, cool. And but then I got here this season and they're saying it's like a season like no other with all this toxicity and obvious this and obvious that. But then other people are like, no, there's been elements of this in previous seasons, just not to this degree, And to which I say, that's why I have the blow up of the island, because to me as a first time viewer, it just wasn't given what it was supposed to give. And I'm like, this is even worse than Housewives because I feel like these young people are affected and affecting in such a way, like activating bases in such a way that it could, you know, I don't know. They're just introducing a lot of stuff that, like the whole spitting in your hand. I don't think that that's appropriate, especially because I talked my 70 something year old mom into watching it with me. And she's like, what did I just watch? What was that when they were singing eat that kitty in the hideaway? She's like, they got Kit Kats in the room. I
You
was
have to be
like,
like, yeah, mom, they got Kit Kats.
yeah, it's Kit Kats, mom.
But see, for
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
yeah,
So, are you looking forward to the reunion tonight then?
I mean, yes, well, I always watch it on Peacock because I refuse to get cable at this point, and Peacock is more than enough, you know.
Yes.
But yeah, I am looking into it because I don't think I'm gonna get much. I did see the teaser. I don't want to spoil it for you, so I want a little bit more information
Yeah.
of the Brit Eady of it all. It just keeps it's like the whole thing was Brit Eady, like, and I don't want to be just her personally. The whole situation, I should say, it's like an onion. Every time you think you kind of halfway get it, it's like there's more layers into it. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that you always, I've always been saying it since the beginning. When it came to everything, I blame Bravo and production. This season could have been dealt a lot differently, but the way how they went about it, it was just terrible. I mean, at this point now, I kind of believe that, Rick came on the show. She wanted to be new, of course. I think she wanted to be like the frenemy type of person, And
Yeah.
I feel like, in my
What made
opinion,
you think she wanted to be a frenemy?
well, it's always good to be the antagonist to some point if you want longevity. Think about it. Giselle, um, who else? Kenya. Not to be like
Because
the
she struck
mean
me as
girl, but
really sweet. She struck me
yeah,
as really sweet, and it
I
was
don't.
Kelly who was popping off in the first and second episodes more than Britt was like very quiet and demure until the Bankhead thing where she felt slighted by. So I don't know. I felt like
Yeah,
she was
I
just
mean,
reacting, but you feel
I
like
don't
she
think it was.
literally wanted to be the
Yeah,
villain?
not the villain, the frenemy. There's a difference. Villain means you're just gonna be straight nasty. The frenemy is, hey, um, how I could say, like, how Dr. Heavily is. She's a really good friend, but then some things about her you just don't like. That polarizing type of character. Like, I could be nice, but I could be nasty.
Speaking of Dr. Heavenly,
That type of thing.
shout out to the running representative for District 93 in Georgia. Everybody in Georgia,
Well,
go ahead and support and vote Dr. Heavenly because you know she can get shit done. Go ahead, Allie.
yeah, yeah. No, that's what I mean. Not like being like, and I'll get to Dr. Heavily because I'm trying to. Our district is literally next to my district. I was like literally like a few addresses away to be able to vote. That's how close her district is.
Oh, awesome. I was going to send you
Yeah.
the thing. She invited me and she was like, if you can come, RSVP, because she was going to have t shirts and stuff. And I was thinking about you and I looked for you
Oh, the one
on,
she did
I
at the
didn't have
state
your
capitol.
personal, and I looked for you in my Instagram
Yes,
and I didn't have you. And
and
because
I
I got
send
back
you
into
a,
my
and I
other
sent
Instagram and then
yeah,
got locked
because I
out
did
the other
send
one.
yeah, because I did send you a message on the Instagram, but you never messaged me back because I saw it. I was
Yeah,
literally,
because
where
I
was
got,
it? A
is it the one
Sunday.
with two S's? Was it the
I
larger
don't
curves
re-
with two S's? If it
whatever the
is,
main one I
now I'm locked
have.
out of that one and I'm back in the one with one S.
Oh, okay. So I have to get that new one day because when you replied, I said you're usually good at replying back because
Yeah,
I was home
it's
and
been like a
I
couple of
was
weeks.
like streaming and I was on threads of always and it just popped up and it was like the whole internet was just like blasting and she was there and I said, "Is this true?" And I had to
Yeah,
research to see what district what it
darn.
was.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Put your
And I was
put your number
and
in the
I
private chat. But if you
yeah,
put your number in the private chat, then I could have just texted it to you because I was like, who do I know in
in
Georgia that
this
goes
the private
support?
okay, I'll give it to you now. This chat is private,
Yeah,
right?
just put it in the private chat because this is ridiculous. You could have totally been there. She would have put you in the front
I
seat and
would,
all.
and the sad thing is, I was planning to go. It was on a Tuesday at 5 p.m., and I was planning to go. I was going to take my
Yeah.
son the whole 9 yards. It's in the private chat, but that day I
Well,
was working because it was so short notice. And I mean, I have to tell you this: when it comes to being in the Atlanta metro area and having to go downtown, you have to get yourself like, am I going downtown? I'm going there for a reason, right? Because nobody
yeah.
wants to drive in the downtown, especially at 5 p.m. in the afternoon if you're not in Atlanta and you're outside of
Right.
Atlanta because traffic just take the real Jesus. Traffic is a mess.
Uh,
And then, me coming from work and trying to get myself ready and then going there. And I was going to say, I don't even want to deal with parking. I'm just going to take them. I got to a point because that day at work, everything was like, I had to get my work done first. I said, you know what? This money, this check comes first. I just have to wait for the next event and
Yeah,
then do it again. But I was
we'll
really
definitely
disappointed.
let you know.
I wish she did it within the district. Because here's the thing, I think a lot of people are they were like when some people were reporting it, they were getting the district wrong. They were saying that it was Latonia, Decatur, and this.
Uh-huh.
They were getting the district wrong. So her district is District 93. It has a small part of Latonia slash Stonecrest, a good amount of Rockdale County, and a bit of Gwinnett County. Um,
Uh-huh.
so it was to me, I think it was much more important for her to do within the district so people know this is who we're representing. I did see she did clarify that in her Carlos King interview, which I was
Yeah.
so glad she did, so people could understand. But I think it would have been better off. Hopefully, next time she does more in the district, she says she's going to do more see abouts, more outreach to the community, and it would be more important because even like with me, who is not in that particular district, I'm right next door. It is still important to kind of still be in that area because what we
Yeah.
do immediately affects that because a lot of the districts, the way they draw it, it's overlapping cities and counties at the same time. It's not a straight cut,
Mhm.
you know? It's strange how one
Mhm.
just has three different counties and then you split the city in two all at the same time. It is, but it's called what, gerrymandering or something like that.
Right, right.
But
Yeah,
that
where
was
they
a good
mess
thing.
up the district. Okay, I
Yes.
just called you and locked your number in.
Oh, that's why my phone was beeping. Oh,
Yeah.
wait a minute. I see something. Hold on. If I go silent, that's why.
Okay.
Is this a
Um,
text? No, that's not you. That's some weird thing. Okay, okay, okay. I see it. It's a number I don't normally understand. I'm gonna text it, and I'm gonna text you because I see the scan
okay.
and tell me if you'll get it.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
me.
all right. Okay, I'll go say I didn't
Yeah.
because
Did it
I
show up
have
funny? Does it show
no,
up funny?
no, it just shows up with just the number and the state.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. C'est moi. C'est moi.
So I have to
Hey,
like
Palaver. Yeah, what's good? What's good? We're up here talking about stuff. We just dropped the link.
okay.
We're talking Love Island. We're gonna talk just whatever. I heard the phone. I thought it was me.
Hey, Penelope, how you doing, my friend? But it to
Yeah.
me, I was like, so I did want our website, and she is having like other things, so you have to keep on top of that.
Uh-huh.
I don't, but I would have. I was planning to go, but I said, nah, I can't. It's just so much because I would have took the martyr. I was planning it out, but it was just going to Atlanta. So hopefully next time she do it more in her district because I think definitely it's more important because if you want the people to vote,
Yeah.
it's because we only a small district of people. They really need to see her. And I did remember in her interview with Carlos, she said she lived in that district for like 20 something years and she didn't even know the incumbent of
Yeah.
her district. So that's a really big thing because even me, while researching it, I was like, I don't even know the incumbent of
Right.
my district. I don't even know who's in mine. So I really am glad that Dr. Heavily is
Dr.
doing it
Heavenly
because
will
it's
be like
local.
Jasmine Crockett, y'all. She will be telling them what time it is. Ooh, she will get in the chamber and be like, I could imagine. Could you imagine? Could you freaking imagine her getting in the chamber and pulling a
I
Jasmine
think
Crockett just telling them about themselves?
I don't think she'll go like Jabbercock because I feel like she's still a businesswoman and the way she will come across will be definitely more professional. And I think she wants to work because she wants to work on both sides, you know, but still stand up for it. So,
Yeah. Well,
but I don't, yeah, but because she seems very passionate and wanting to help the people. That's for sure, which I love. She is about what is very important about the educations in the
uh,
schools, which is a really big problem. She's worrying about the crime. She's definitely worried about the senior citizens in the area, which is
yeah.
true. There's a lot of people who are elderly in that area, and healthcare is an issue, and that is definitely true. they do need a lot of help and someone to really understand that. Um, I think that's really important because that is, I think, a demographic of the population that people tend to forget are elderly and our
Yeah.
seniors. And we do have to remember there are a lot of times the most vulnerable, you
Hmm.
know. And when you have, I think with me, my mom who's lived with me, when it comes to healthcare, it is very stressful because the medications are so expensive and Medicaid doesn't always
Right.
cover everything. And if your elderly family members have disorders like if they're on if they're diabetic, if they have high blood pressure, unfortunately, if they're on dialysis, you could see how quickly the cost could comes up. And because and if they're not able to have all the options for the Medicare, they're kind of limited to what they're able to get, and sometimes it may not be the best type of care that they should have. And to me, I do understand that it's very nerve wracking that it's 2025 and we live in America with all this advancement in technology, especially in medicine. We're still limited to how much money you have to get the type of care you
Yeah.
have.
Yeah. And for it to be made so hard for people that work their whole life,
Exactly.
and Social Security
It,
is can get
yeah.
taxed if you have other retirement. Did you know that? Did you know that?
I know that. I know that because again, it was my parents. I did not know Social Security money is taxed. It's like that's double
It
taxing
was
because it was
already
taxed
taxed.
the
Exactly.
first time and it was taxed again. Yes, I that was
Yeah.
something. So again, if
So
you did
if
not
you
know
have,
that,
so
it
like let's say
stinks.
you do have your 401k and you have it set up to pay you, and then you have your required minimum distribution around, what do they say, by what, 72 you have to start taking it, but you also started taking your Social Security at what, 62,
Mhm,
65, 67, they're trying to make it. And so now if you make over X number of dollars in your 401k, which is also taxed when you are required to take it out as a
mhm.
senior, then now you triggered an event where now it's like, is it 45 to like 75% of your Social Security is taxed as a senior? That's crazy.
It's crazy, and I never understood that because when you think about from when you work, the first thing they do is tax you. They take the federal, they
Hmm.
take the state, and then they're put into Social Security. So it's already been taxed. And then to go back and say, "Oh, we're gonna tax you again because you got too much money." It's like no. And then I remembered my experience is with the Medicare Part D. That's the one that does the
Yeah.
prescription. And unfortunately, my mother went into the donut hole because her insulin was so expensive and unfortunately for me, I had a FSA card where I could use it for medication for myself and my immediate family member. And my mom was living with at the time. And I mean, when I say that small insulin bottle was like almost $300, my mom felt bad. I said, "No, mommy, I have to get you this because if she did not have her insulin, you well know what when they don't have their insulin, what that means. You know what I'm saying?" And I said, all we have to do is to stick it out until like I think it happened like around a November or December. So all I had to do was just wait for the physical year because Medicaid ends at the end of the
Uh-huh.
year in December, and then it will turn back on again. So fortunately, quote unquote, it was towards the end of the year, so I only had to do like one or two times out of pocket, but just for it to kick back in January. But I was lucky. How many other families that has senior citizens and elderly people who are not
Right.
able to do that. If I had to enroll into a FSA account, you understand, thinking like I rather have and not need versus need and not have, and understanding out of pocket expense, how many people would have been like, I had to choose between food and insulin medicine? Food and these strips for diabetes to do the testing. Those are vital, and are super expensive. Even the needles, very expensive, and those costs accumulate so quickly. And if um they don't sit down here and what's the word I'm looking for? They don't understand, and these are life need necessary
Uh-huh.
things to have. And then she was on, not to put my business, she was also on dialysis. So that was another
Wow.
stressor too. Yeah, that's not fun because the dialysis sometimes messes up with the diabetes because it's a whole thing. God rest her soul, it was a lot when you have a sick loved member who's a senior citizen and you have to deal with, the stress of costs of medicine and everything else. It is a lot to do. So there is needs to be, some reform. I think also I wish medicine works more for preventing some of these diseases because
Right.
knowing of my family members that had hypertension, that died from heart attacks, that would die to pass away, that had diabetes, those are not fun. And the fact that, the food administration in our country is toxic and they're literally like feeding us poison and they're making things that's supposed to be available to us not that available. It's really
Right.
ridiculous, you know. But I think I kind of knew that fears because I remember I was in some kind of program, for nursing and pharmacy or
Uh-huh.
something like that. And the pharmacist said that we don't live in a healthcare system. We live in a health
Here. Yeah.
care system. And they make money off of people being sick. And this is a
Yeah.
pharmacist that was working at the VA. And she has to admit what the system is. And this is back in, I want to say 2011,
Mhm.
2012. So this is not something new. This is something that they proven that they've been knowing this for years, and they just don't want to because there's too much money made on people being sick.
That's what they do, and I use the Rockefellers for just to make money, but everything else they did was kind of like it's very upsetting as far as what
Oh,
they how they've influenced the medical, the its schooling system, and all of those things. And
hmm
yeah,
even our
and
money
the banks, yeah, how they influence the
because
banks and even wars. They were very influential in like starting and maintaining so that they could shell money on the back. And but
yeah,
the way that they infiltrated medicine, specifically American medicine,
hmm
and kind of made it illegal to do natural homeopathic things. And they
hmm
created the FDA to thwart legal holistic stuff.
hmm
And you know what I mean? But then they still allow all this poison in simultaneously when they give you a medicine for one thing and the side effects inflict another 20 things. And it's just like so much. And then you have to take a pill for the side effect from the first pill that if you would have just, your legs maybe were supposed to move. That's not restless leg syndrome. Maybe, you know, Oliver girl.
I mean, it is. Oh, hey, friend.
Yes. Thanks for coming up, Oliver.
Oh no.
Uh,
But I mean, oh wait, here she go.
are you here?
Can you hear
Uh-oh.
us? Oh no. Try it on if you have Microsoft Edge, try it on Microsoft Edge. Sometimes Chrome doesn't like StreamYard. I mean not StreamYard, Restream.
Dang. I
That's
don't
what
know
I
why
use.
it's doing that.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes
she
it
was
could be the
saying she's been
browser, just
listening from the
changing the
start. She
browser
just
will make a
finished cleaning
difference.
house. She has so much to say. Um,
Yeah.
Shelves, thanks for coming through. Thanks for coming through. Hope you're having a restful day. It's disgusting, Allie from Miami.
But
Disgrace what those MAGA people have done. And then they be praying. They be praying to white Jesus right before they do all the stuff they do, too. It's crazy.
it's great. But let's talk about this housewife that's coming out. I just want to know. I wish Drew had bring those lawsuit documentations because Drew be lying.
Yeah.
Let's just be real. Drew is one of the notorious liars, but at the same time, knowing what we know is like how much of a lie is it? Because in the notice of summons, as it's being called, there was 4 to 5 Jane Doe slash John Does, and you did predict that one of them was
Hmm.
Drew. I said, "Oh my God, we need to give Curves her flowers because she did say Drew could have been
Yeah.
one of them."
But then when the images turned out not to be her, that's why they were like, oh, she left everything at home because
What
Yeah, are you
the
talking
paperwork?
about that
No, no, like I will say that Drew said she got the lawsuit, right? And I wish Drew bring the lawsuit so she could prove that she was telling the truth, but she would have had to because no one would have known what BRit was gonna do, while they were filming, how she the next day she went and put in the lawsuit
yeah,
notice, right? But because I said, remember, Drew does lie. We have to take what she said with a grain of salt sometime. But the fact that there were Jane and John Doe's listed, and you did protect Drew was one of them. I wanted to know who else. Like, hey, why did what's up with this? You know what I'm
right.
saying? I would, just a thing. And then I feel like one of John Doe's was Andy Cohen, because why would you not list Andy on the list? He's the big boss. Why would you not list your direct boss? Hey, why you submitted me into this thing? And then he was on his radio show talking about it, of it all. I thought that was strange. Like, this is probably one of the few, if only, lawsuits Andy Cohen was not listed in it, and he is the face, the big guy, the producer guy for Housewives of Atlanta. I thought that was strange. That's why I felt like he was that
Uh-huh.
John Doe that was not listed,
No
in
way.
my opinion.
Yeah. I,
I mean, who
I
else?
feel
Why
like they
wouldn't
do
it
John
be?
Doe's because um until you get the evidence, if you just name a
Mm-hmm.
person, they can like start getting ready for you or
And
like be like, why'd you say that
yeah,
later? So maybe when you introduce a John or Jane Doe, I thought it was so that you could get evidence during discovery or something to further prove that it was in fact this person, and then you'll name them once you get the proof. That's what I thought the advantage
yeah.
to that was, but I only play a lawyer in my head.
Yeah, I think that's the same thing too. I think it was strategic because if it's in the beginning stages, you don't want to name it, and then if it came not true, there could be like, well,
Right.
defamation. Especially, unlike the other ladies, when it comes to Andy, you understand, it's a huge thing when you name him on something and there's no basis. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because if it turns out to be not true, she could always say, well, I didn't name you in the lawsuit, Andy. It was just the company. You feel what I'm saying? I thought she was trying to probably play the long game later on and say, I never actually named you. I just put, so we would never know if he ever was part of it, but my assumption he was, because that would have made sense. Because I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong, but I don't remember anytime there's a housewife that's suing for whatever reason, somehow Andy Cohen's always in the list. And I thought it was strange that this time he was not on the list. But there was a John Doe on the list. I said, that John Doe has to be Andy because he's the messiest one of them all. He's the boss. Everything starts with him, and he actually has
Yeah.
the money. Besides NBC, Universal, Truly Production, and everybody else. That other production company, Endon Production, which is still part of NBC Universal because it's circled back to it. I'm like, girl, yeah, I know, but like I said, you know, it's just disappointing she didn't show up. I wish she did. I think if she had shown up to the reunion, because I think I mentioned it before, they would have officially made her like the new Kenya
Uh-huh.
of the group. You know what I'm saying? I That's why I think, because I think that if Brit was there, she would have been that one like, hey, I'm not going to be messed with. I'm not going to sit down here. She's beautiful. I think she just needed to get her comebacks a lot quicker. She just need a little training,
Drew?
okay? Like how to wrap it up into reality TV. You understand? A lot of people find her to be entertaining, but her comebacks needed to be a little polished. Does that make sense? Because it's hard to do it in the moment when the cameras
Who
are
are you
on
talking about? That
for a
was
brand new
for
star. Grit, grit. I think she would have been the new replacement for Kenya, in my opinion. Grit
I
Eady.
so you've I don't know. I feel like she was coming to be part of an ensemble cast, And I feel like she was
Mhm,
pretty and she thought she would have been accepted as one of the pretty girls by a pretty girl named Kenya.
mhm.
And instead, Kenya hated on her and treated her otherly because of the whole Ming Lee thing and the other lady not getting on the show. And then they were actively working to get BRit off of the show. And she was treating her very chilly. She could have been more welcoming as an old broad of the show. Kenya could have, but instead she wasn't gracious at all. She made a point to like antagonize BRit. And then when BRit finally acted out, which was BRit's fault, then we got what we got. And I feel like Kenya also had already had the information she was planning to use on BRit. And when BRit happened to go ballistic and say the stuff about the gun and the whip, that she was like, oh, great. Like it played right into her plan because she was already planning to have the grand opening. And she's like, ooh, this will be a perfect time to bring the poster boards out. And I don't know. I just kind of feel like it was all already going to happen because Ken was already salty and treating her as such, just waiting for an opportunity. And um, I don't think that BRit's energy gave that. I feel like she was just a noob trying to come in and she didn't really know how to be like, oh my gosh, like, is this bitch reading me about my ring? Like she was like, well, like it shocked her, to the point where she doesn't know how to read. And but also Angela
Yeah.
doesn't either. Angela stretch marks isn't really a read, and it was a read based off of a lie. So it's even like, so your most famous line of the season is for not because it's based off of bullshit. I don't know. It's a big season. I wish BRit would have got better
I
treatment. I
know.
was looking forward to her opportunity to come back because I did want another season from BRit. Even without Ken, I did
Yeah.
not want. I still don't think Ken deserves the platform. She went too far. She took it way too far. She can just, hey, welcome to YouTube. And I think that BRit should have been allowed to come back. I still think she could even still come back because allegedly not
Mhm,
even the lawsuit
mhm.
was filed. And I actually read that day when we went over the lawsuit filing here, it said in red that this had not been accepted by the clerk. It had only been like the first step. And because it had only been the first
Mhm, yeah.
step, it wasn't like entered or whatever they say. So now that still is a point. It hasn't been entered, I guess. um the pictures weren't her. It's a lot, so I feel like they could let her come back. And
I mean, here's the thing,
hi
I
Bolivar, are
understand
you up here
why,
for
I
sure
just wish
now?
she went. Oh, is
Yeah,
it
I
working?
found a different way to get into it because I'm
Okay.
using an iPad and they told me to use Safari.
Uh-huh.
It
And that
worked.
worked?
I'm here.
Yay.
Yeah, because that's I noticed with Restream, you have is really depends on the
Yeah.
browser. Some browser it likes than others. So for me, I use Edge on the
Yeah,
Windows.
I
So that's why I
tried
say
Edge, I
try that.
tried Chrome because those are my default things. For some
Uh-huh.
reason, thank God I finally paid attention to, hey, try this one. I'm like, oh, okay. I'll follow the instruction. Hi, Ali. Hi,
Yes.
Larja.
Hey, how you
I'm
doing?
doing
Yes. I
good.
mean, for me, what I think was great, and I'm gonna say this, I not looking at it as the ensemble cast. I'm trying to look at it through the production eye because I did used to do like animation and
Yeah.
production and stuff. And I always look at it like this. If you we all wanted a reboot type of thing with Housewives and they were supposed to circle around Portia. So to me, I've been saying it this whole season. Kenya last season would have been season 16 no matter what. She was not going to go forward. And there were little hints that even Kenya mentioned she was not going to go forward when it came to the production side. And I feel like Brit was supposed to be almost like that new version of Kenya 2.0, the pretty beautiful girl that was like a frenemy type of thing. And she would have basically replaced Kenya Moore. Now, keep that in mind. If Kenya said in her YouTube channel she felt like she was playing it up to be that role, and I think Kenya was pretty much jealous and felt like, hey, I don't feel secure in my job. And she was upset with BRit because she felt like she was going to lose her job to BRit. And
Yeah.
basically, she did.
Well,
Basically, she
I
did.
just go ahead.
And
Sorry, apologies.
yeah, I'm not there, but and I because to me, regardless of the 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 pictures and the posters of it all, I do feel that Kenya's season would have been this last season, and I just wish that BRit did go to the reunion because there were other little things behind the scenes, especially if you see some of these interviews, they would have made Brit come back. They somebody in that Bravo universe wanted Brit. They wanted her. They wanted that girl. And if she had just went, she would have stayed on. I think that made people that probably would have left, like maybe Shamia would have been not able to come back in, or even Kelly. But I know I felt like Brit was gonna be green lighted if she had went to the reunion. When she didn't go, it just changes everything. Because it's like, they were rooting for her and she kind of let them down. And I'm talking about production. I'm talking about Bravo. The fans, the cast, because when they feel like they put something behind you and you kind of just don't show up, they'll be like, okay, if you don't want it, we're not gonna force you, type of thing.
I kind of see what you're saying for the last part. In my opinion, my only thing is I don't think Brit had any intention of coming in guns a blazing for Kenya. I think
Yeah.
she was actually like, Kenya was like, when you watch people on TV and you're like, oh my God, like Kenya, you know how like the Kenya
Right.
people are. I think she came in. I don't think she was equipped for the massive head, like blunt trauma that she got the first
Right.
scene. I
Mhm.
think that shocked her. I'm kind of a Brit. When I get attacked, in that at that I mean, you're talking about attacking a woman with false allegations. I'm the one, remember, she literally hauled herself at home for 5 days crying.
And tried to
You,
stay longer,
yeah,
Palaver. She tried to stay longer and said she
she,
was required to go to
yeah,
work.
she tried to do her job. And then the angel of it all, and then her friend Kelly, all of a sudden were like, oh no, because Kenya has been dubbed as this super, perfect. Oh, she's so smart, and she is read. She is the slave. It's like when some people are programmed like that. I never liked Kenya. I saw her the first time she came in and went after another woman's husband, unabashedly, unashamedly, and then tried to lie about it. It's like, who are you? And she's always jealous of other women when she feels threatened. She will
Yes.
pull a pew pew. She will pull everything that will shame a woman at her core. If you do it to her, she will turn into a fire breathing dragon and then play victim. She's not my cup of tea. Let's just leave it at that, okay? Never felt for it. Oh, Kenya is so smart. She would never. The minute I heard the allegation that she put those explicit photos, I'm like, yep, I believe it. I don't care. It is her. She did that to the cookie lady. There is a plethora of evidence of Kenya going after women, but then crying, oh, poor me. I'm pregnant. I am a mother. She didn't care about Phaedra being a mother when she went after Apollo. Are you kidding me? And Apollo is also not on my pantheon of men, okay? He can kick rocks. But what I'm saying is, like, I understand where you're coming from, but I don't think I think it was a narrative that was created on social media about Brit Eady when the rumors came before we started watching the show. The show is evidence that Brit Eady she doesn't have in her to be vindictive. She's more like, oh no, don't hit me. Please, oh no. she'll back down. I don't fault her. People say you should show up. What is she going to say? She can't read. She can't fight back. You hit her, she crumbles. And I feel for her as a mom. I want to hug her. It is horrible what they've done to her. Not only was she um, like literally exposed in the worst possible way, her cast members turned on her and blamed her for Kenya's horrible, diabolical, disgusting act. What she did a criminal thing, and what Angela doesn't care. She's like, well, and I don't even want to talk about Drew. Seriously, she's so dumb. I can't deal with her. Um, she was literally, they were like, oh, you're the reason Kenya left. No, Kenya is the reason Kenya left. How much more beating can a person? Nobody is built for this. And I think what really broke her is when Kelli turned on her. I think that really did a number on her. And I don't think everybody thinks, oh, don't go on reality TV if you're not. No, you don't anticipate somebody manufacturing that you did a sexually deviant thing, because when you were young and dumb, you made maybe a mistake. I believe, I'm not sure. Lodger, you can correct me. I think what she recalls was her being on one of those vixen videos or doing things on her senior year of high school. And the woman has been working her entire life to dispel that, And I really feel so heartbroken and sad for her, but I'm glad she has a good lawyer. That lawyer is no joke. And the John Doe thing, Ali, what you were referencing, that's a normal part of a process when you don't know who else is involved. So you technically add John Doe and Jane Doe's until after discovery. Once you find out, okay, who was really involved, then you have room instead of refiling. It costs more money. So a lot of lawsuits have the primaries, and then they would add some, if you have a suspicion. So you don't want to put a name of somebody and then at discovery find out they have nothing to do with you, because it's going to reverse on you, because they're going to sue you for falsely accusing them. I don't know if that makes sense.
I get
That
it.
makes
I
sense.
totally,
But
I agree completely with that assessment, Palaver, and have said many of the same things as far as the shock, the treatment, the expectation being so opposite of what she would have even supposed to have guessed, and the ultimate betrayal by Kelli and was a lot to bear, and for her to still show up, is still slay, face tea, outfits tea, everything tea. Her husband showed up with her, so what you guys was talking about him, her businesses are still intact, so what you guys attacked it. You know what I mean? Just every aspect of her personage has been degraded in
Demolished.
association with this show, and she still shows up, she's still gracious. And so what if she didn't want to go to your stupid little reunion so that these women could further berate her and have an opportunity to put a narrative on her that wasn't even her motherfucking picture? So what? She should be allowed to not have had to show up and endure another moment of this, especially finding out it wasn't the picture. Imagine carrying out the whole season, having these grown women treat you like that image.
They all said it was her, LRGA. Yes. They all said that. That is a mind F. That is a mind F.
The other mind F, Palaver, is that after they told her it was her, production, the other housewives, everybody in the world told her it was her. Now we find out it's not her, and everybody in the world is like, well, is she stupid for thinking it was? Why say that? So it's even so now she even has to. Now it's still her fault.
No.
It's disgusting.
The thing I the thing I just I'm trying to understand, and I'm looking at this, right? It's not if the picture is her or not. I Because she was not there at the exact moment when it came out, but when she asks to see, I guess, the footage or whatever of what was shown, because I just don't understand why. Who I have to know who she asks and all the steps that happen, because why would someone sit there and deny her to see something like that? Especially, that's the part I don't understand. And I'm not talking about on Brit's end. I'm talking about on the production and the company.
True.
They're the one that have the most
True.
colludes, right? This is an HR
It is.
nightmare. And I just don't understand that if Brit came to you and said, "Hey, I know that this was of me, these graphic pictures of me. I want to see it what it is so I could verify it is me." And it's like, "No, you don't need to
And
see it right
and
now."
and
I
Ali,
just cannot understand the mental
yes.
gymnastics. Who said that and why
Why
would they
didn't they
say that?
tell her
Because that
that
doesn't
it
make no
wasn't
sense.
her? Why did they wait until the end? You know, at the end of the finale, that's when they all get the
No,
full
no,
episodes, so they can prepare for the reunion. That's when she found out that
Yes.
it wasn't her.
yeah, that's
That is mean.
no, for what I understand. No, what I understand is it wasn't until the day before the reunion she was finally able to see the pictures after already previously asking before, and they waited till that moment to finally show
That
her the
is the
pictures.
kicker.
That's how I understood it. And then she verified then that it wasn't her. And that's why I said if she was asking before, right? I would have shown this is an HR legal nightmare, right? And she requested to see this and they denied her. I want to know who she asked, when she asked, the emails thread. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? I mean, this is obviously this got to go to court because that's the only way you're going to see these evidence. Because who in their right mind would say, "No, Britt, we're not going to make you see it," and then continue with the whole show? That I don't. That's the part I
And
can't
that's
Not
why
to
she got,
understand.
not to
and
men,
that's
That
why
not
I'm
she
to
has
making the
Jane
mental
and
mention.
John
gymnastics.
Doe's listed because we don't know who made that decision.
Yeah. So not to mention the whole entire
That's what
time
I'm trying to
they are
understand.
showing us these blurry photos that assume it's her. She must be like, is it me? Am I crazy? Maybe I did it. Like if everybody's telling you it's you and you did these things and you're like, I have no right. At some point, you know, this is how they mess with your mind. That's happened to me. People are like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, wait, the rule is if three or more people are telling you you effed up and you're like, I didn't do it, I've not, at some point you have to go, what if it is me? That
Yeah,
is mental torture on another level.
and
When they knew it
I'm,
wasn't her.
but one thing is I mentioned like I watch Humble Brag. It's a cute little podcast.
Yeah.
Very easy to
I
watch.
only pick
I
up
love the
sometimes.
fact
It's
they got
good.
good. Yeah, I
It's
like it. One
good,
thing I do like,
Claudia.
Awesome.
sh- Cynthia and Crystal, I call it radio voice. You know how you could hear their voices and it sounds very smoothing. It doesn't irritate
Yeah.
you. You could actually just listen to them. And a lot of time they gag about nothing, but it's like they're just so funny together, and their voices are like
They're
good
really
radio voices.
magic
I can listen
together.
to them talk.
It's like, it's weird.
Yeah, but it's weird. You would have
Never.
never thought that these two. Yeah, but it works. But Crystal did ask Cynthia because Cynthia was there. Hey, do you remember the picture? Do you remember what it looked like? And Cynthia said, wait, first of all, this was over a year ago. But what she does remember, it looks like a younger version without the cosmetic surgery. So it could have been her, but I don't know because it was so long ago and it looked like her. And for me, I'm going to say this: it could have been a young lady that has features like Brit. You
No, this
understand?
is called this
And
is
that and
called
only one that could,
confirmation bias. They were told,
yes,
Kenya told them it's Brit. So no matter what, you know how many all of
yes,
these girls kind of look alike because they have the same. It's not like, yeah, they
features.
kind of do the same plastic surgery. It's like everybody who does plastic, they all kind of like merge into each other. So it's confirmation bias
Yeah.
because Kenya said it was her
Yeah.
and they looked at it and they're like, oh,
And she said
And then
she
they
had a
ooh,
thought,
private
yeah,
eye.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
she said she had a private eye
Yeah.
who did it. So of course the people would be like, oh yeah, it has to be her.
Yeah. Kenya did a bang up
And that's
job.
why I think it was more. Yeah, and I think that's why it was so more important to have BRit verified because think about it. At that point, they were only filming for 3 weeks. None of these other ladies know BRit like that.
No.
It makes sense to have BRit who knows herself to say, hey, for production, because we don't want to get sued for the thousandth time again, allegedly. Say, hey, brace yourself. These are what the pictures. This is what it looked like. Is this you or not? Will you how you want us to go? I just felt like it's so reckless for production
Absolutely.
to operate the way they did.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna even say this. I don't even know why to me, I thought it would have been way cheaper. Ask your permission. I think it would have been way cheaper for them to scrap those 3 weeks of
Mm-hmm.
filming, add another 3 weeks at the tail end, and start from scratch without Kenya. Because to me, that would have been cheaper. Because what they gave us in this season, trying to make this whole Brit Kenya thing work without talking about the Brit and Kenya of it all, was just a waste of a season. It could have just like this, just scrap this 3 weeks. Let's forget about it. Let's go back in. Let's start from the beginning, like you guys didn't know each other, and see if we could reestablish the season. I thought that would have
Ali,
been a
you're
better
such a
idea.
good person. You
Maybe
don't
I'm crazy.
understand. These are like the devil's spawn, these TV producers, okay?
Yeah.
They make so much money in ad revenue putting this horrible thing.
Yes.
They can literally pay off whatever penalty they have, and it would be like a water over a duck's head. Sorry, I don't know if that's a proper thing. That's something we say. My mom says it's like it just slicks out. It doesn't
Yeah,
even
water
touch
off
the
a duck's
scalp.
back.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
Yeah. I mean, I hear you coming from, but it didn't work out at the end because this is the worst season rating rise of
yeah,
all time.
this
So
Because
this
when
it's
they
in
banked,
TV
they were
bullshitness.
banking
Titanic.
on this moment to be the great moment, and it was a flop.
I don't think it was
It
a
was a
flop.
flop.
I
It-
think
they
I think I think they assessed with their lawyers the what do you larger you in insurance, like the mitigating and
The
like the pro,
liabilities.
yeah, like thank you. I knew I could count on
Yeah.
you. um,
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
I
the
mean,
liability
I
were
think
like minimal
Dr.
compared to the
Real
ad
quick, you
revenue.
guys, they just announced Dr. Heavenly appointed Quad Webb as her damn campaign manager 2 minutes ago, you guys. Isn't that awesome?
I thought that was she mentioned that before.
Well, maybe she mentioned it on Carlos King, but it's just now
I didn't
because they have
follow
a
that.
video out.
Yeah, when she
Let me
first
see your
yeah, it
page.
was in when she announced it
Uh-huh.
last week, it was mentioned in People's
Oh,
Or
look
maybe
at
Magazine.
she
that.
made it official.
Yeah, it was already official. She mentioned in People's
There's a
Magazine
video now.
last week.
Let's see.
When she made her initial announcement. That's why I was also texting that to you in your
That I didn't
Instagram
get.
because I mentioned that to you last
Yeah,
week in
she
your
didn't tell me
Instagram
that.
that it was yeah. Yeah, I forgot that part. I even mentioned that to you, but I didn't know you had a different Instagram. That same
Yeah.
time when everything came out, Quad was
Oh my
her
God. That's
manager.
going to be
Yeah,
so
yeah.
awesome.
Larja is so
It's gonna
excited.
be it's
I
gonna be
am.
fabulous.
I am so freaking
That's
thrilled for her.
Larja's girl. She's
It
like
is. I'm telling you, I feel like she's
ride and
always doing the
die.
Lord's
Yeah.
work. And just like here, I'm gonna block you, person. And I just feel like this is just another extension of like why I've always been a heavenly stan is because like her real heart is to help the people. That's what her real heart is. Your mama is just something she says, but her actions are love,
Mhm.
nurturing, kindness, support, building up. She's super generous, super intelligent. I'm just like, I'm so pleased that she's able to further evidence her love of the people and what she's willing to do for the people. And yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
shout out.
but you know what, Larja? Seriously, that when you asked me, oh, I don't know, it wasn't you, it was Dustin asked me, oh, what do you have a problem with? It's literally that your mama. I have no other issue with Doctor
Yeah,
Heavenly. She is who she is. Look at her kids. Look at the way. Also, she's entertaining AF. So the thing is, like when it hurts, like when I got turned off with your mama was it was earlier. I've been married to Maris, all of the black shows since season 1, right? But it was like, and then when she did the Contessa last time, when her mom had, like, to me, like, I cannot imagine ever in any level of anger. So that was where my hook was. It was like, you know what? Heavenly, you know better. We all know she's highly educated. She is probably her EQ and IQ level is off the chart. But I also understand that she's in a reality show that requires a little bit of, messy. It's just something like my mom is like, I cannot imagine ever. I don't go for moms and I don't go for kids. End of story. So that's where my hook is. Other than that, I'm okay. Like, I like all of the ladies. When I saw Married to Medicine, I'm like, yes, finally. And then we see what they do. Wherever they travel, they're giving, seriously, giving their time, energy. This is not fake. That's the real Married to Medicine. It's what they do for the community. So this is the politics thing. She can handle it. I know she
Yeah.
chooses when she does something like outrageous or
Exactly.
not.
Exactly. Hey, Chanel, what's good?
Hey everybody.
Hey.
How's it going? We're talking about everything.
Yeah,
y'all
I
hear
would
me?
like to go back to
I'm
Love
sorry,
Island
something
at some
happened.
point.
Yay! Okay, let's go.
Can y'all hear me?
Chanel,
Yeah, we can
Okay,
hear
I
please.
you.
might have to go out and come back
Okay.
in. I don't know
No,
what's
no, we
going
can hear
on.
Yeah,
you.
we can hear you, Chanel, but
Can you hear us, Chanel?
yeah, she's
Oh.
gonna go out and come back in. I don't think she could hear us.
No,
Go ahead.
she's like me. She's probably like, her system is probably throwing her off and giving her advice. She's gonna come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
No, Larja, I've been trying to I wanted to pick your brain so much. What do you, uh, first of all, well, I'm not flabbergasted about the Ace and Shelley boot,
Yeah.
unlike other people. I'm sad for Shelley. Ace, literally, to me, I'm like, dude, this is karma coming back on you. You booted people who locked in. You should have never locked in that hideaway. You should have eaten that kitty in the hideaway.
That's
Not
what he should have
locked in.
did. That's all he, because this season hasn't been about connections. It's been about smashing.
Yeah, they literally, and by the way, that was by his design. He literally took over. This 22-year-old TikToker took over
Yes.
production. You have to give it to him. I'm just saying, bravo, brava. And then
Right.
they caught up to him.
Yeah,
And,
his whole plan worked against him. He
because
outplayed
he
himself.
did it. And then when he got rid of all the competition, guess what? Other people are like, we think you're too popular too. We have no chance. Ciao. Sayonara and arrivederci. Poor Shelley. Oh, that's why I was sad. I love her so much. She is perfection. Just
Yeah.
to me. She and Olandria and, Amaya, I just love her because she's so kooky. I can't help it. It's not like
I never said I was perfect. I love her personality.
Nobody like
And
her.
Palaver, we were talking earlier about how we don't think that Amaya would ever call herself Afro anything. And then it wasn't lost on me in particular how when it comes time to take a man, she always would obviously take either Shelley's or Olandria's. And then they ultimately didn't want her. But she would those are who she would kiss, to get to stay. And so I love her and I love her quirkiness, but I peep game. You know what I'm saying? I peep her.
No, I completely agree. But I please do not hold it against me There is something about that little girl.
Yeah.
It's like she's a 13-year-old. And she's just running around. I'm like, it's so refreshing because the beginning of the season, I felt like some weird alien nation came and snatched our Love Island. I've been Love Island since season 1. I am a season 1, everything that I love, okay?
Yeah.
And this is not a regular season. This is not a regular Love Island. Ace literally hijacked, which is why I don't care who judges me. When America vote came, I'm like, this boy needs to be checked.
Uh-huh.
Put him on the bottom. Clark didn't deserve it. I didn't vote Clark at the bottom. But Ace and Taylor, I'm like, you know what? You two are being mean to my girls. I only care
Yes.
about my black girls. If I don't care if, like, a Puerto Rican or anybody attached themselves. I wanted Chris with Shelly because that's a better match. To me, she liked him. He's gentle. He is being another victim of that vampire. Ugh.
A total vampire, an emotional vampire. And
Yeah.
I also was talking about my son came to
And
me.
she bit him.
My son came for real. Jeremiah literally had marks on his neck from the bite.
He's a vampire.
My son had came to me when he saw I was binge watching this and started reviewing it. And he's like, Mom, you know you're watching a government psyop against black people. And I was like, what? And I went and looked it up. I was like, no, I said, it's just a da-da-da-da. Now I'm like, my son was right. Because the way they have played in our face with race, the way they have made
race baiting.
Yes, it was a lot of race baiting and a lot of fake narratives, a lot of redemption arcs where no redemption was required, a lot of, you know what I mean? And then to have the votes, just a second.
Ellie, I want to commend you for not getting into this rabbit hole because we thought we were going to have a nice Love Island thing like last season. No, you are so lucky. You're so lucky.
You're so lucky.
Like I was saying before, with those love competitions, I could never get into it. And I was saying for me to kind of de-stress from the housewives of it all, I was watching the Kardashians on Hulu. I know it was just simple. It was like big houses. I love travel. I love Fashion Week. So that's why I was watching the Kardashians, you know. And I was like, I binge watched the last 2 seasons because I caught up and let it fall. And I was like, I don't care. I mean, I already know what I was getting into. I was getting into a mindless television, but I was watching people going to Milan. I'm like, oh, Milan. I want to go to Milan. Oh, Tuscany. Oh, Paris. Like,
No.
oh, look at that. Them on the private jet. If only me. You know, that is what I want to see.
I'll join you at your level.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, no.
Look, and Palaver, I was telling her that I came over to Love Island because I was so toxicked out over at Housewives of Atlanta with watching all that with BRit that a Curvy was like, oh, well, then you should watch Love Island. It's so fun and light and da-da-da. And then they called me about the second weekend of review and they were like, oh, I'm so sorry, Larja.
This season should not have been your version introduction. Last season should have been.
Look, to get your cherry popped and end up right in an S&M dungeon is a lot.
Now you're stronger, Larja. Now you know.
And then you got your mom into it. That mama.
Oh my God, the mom's a reverend. My mother, the reverend, we've been watching. She hasn't stopped watching yet, but she feels
you should have asked me. I would have said, don't bring mama. No
Oh
way.
my God. When Hannah spit in her hand, Palaver, my mom was like, what is she doing?
Oh my God, Mama Girls, we love you. For you. Oh, poor Mama.
Oh
but
my
you know
God.
what?
She's like, things have changed. Oh my God. And then the milk thing, she was like so sick all day the next day about the whole milk
I know,
exchange
me
thing. She was like,
too.
oh my
It
God.
was disgusting.
Yes. That was
Why
hilarious.
do they do this for 100? What is 100,000?
$100,000 that they can or that they can keep or split.
Do you know production put like they did like I don't know if it was like a news thing because people are like, yo, somebody has herpes over there. We're sick and you're still doing this. They're like, oh no, we test them. We're very aware. I'm like, oh my, I am
Okay,
my
I'm gonna do a
Gen
public
Z kid,
apology.
like, I'm so glad they're not aware of.
I'm gonna do a public apology because I have made so I might even take the videos down. I don't want these people to be all infected. But I was one of the people that was like, that looks like a cloister to me. You can't not tell me that's a cloister. And I know the only way to make sure it's not a cloister is if you test the cloister specifically. And because everybody has the antibodies allegedly, right? So so I was just like, I did not like that we didn't see rubbers, that could have been a cloister.
No, they do have rubbers.
Yeah, I finally saw one after I finally was.
They've always had
moaning. Then they finally put one on Huda's pillow because they know she's the house hunter. Yes, the house hunter. Her and Amaya. I feel like Amaya is actually she's sweet, she's enduring, she's hilarious, she has the best Amaya-isms, all of that, but she is a Huda 2.0. She does her tears, she does her put my sex on you, she does her emotional manipulation, she does her little things.
No, Amaya's
like rainbows and glitter.
Amaya clocked in faster than Huda did. Huda is now just clocking in because she has a real blackity black man who's like, yo. So when he checks her, remember when Megan Thee Stallion was there?
Yeah.
She was like, Huda, what you need is a man who's gonna pick you up, put you down, and she goes, yes, I know, that's what I need. That's
what she needed was a plane ticket home after they put her in the dinghy palaver. That's what she really needed. Was a dinghy ride home to go handle her mental health because
you know what? Not my problem. She's gonna go home and deal with the consequences. And God, thank God, from what I've seen about the father of her child, he seems like the level-headed one. But this girl is gonna go out there, and I hate to say it, I wanna feel bad for her because she thinks she's still in the house because America supports her. It's her hives that support her, Lodja. And she's gonna go out. The Lodja are gonna be like, oh, Love Island who? They're waiting for the next show. She won't get the support. All she's gonna get is the people telling her she abused another human being and that she has terrorized a whole villa. You know how she thinks. I'm not saying like it's gonna be the majority of things, but what she detests the most is people telling her she did something wrong. That's gonna like spiral. I hope her sisters are there, and I hope they get her into a safe place because she's gonna focus. She's not gonna focus on anything. Even if, let's say, she wins tonight.
Yeah.
Everything that is told that she has been put online, she is that type of person. She will focus on that, and I am scared for her, literally.
And that's why I feel like they should have got her off the screen. They did not help her to stay in the house and give her a fake redemption arc when there is no redemption, because what you need is help that you didn't.
She feeds off of thinking that whatever she did wrong, if she correct Chris, you can say anything about Chris. He's like, when he checks her and gives her the silent treatment, she comes back all meek. You know, the what do you call that? Those little butterfly eyelashes. She's anytime she's checked, she goes into kid mode, and Chris is like, "Oh my God, now I have to beat up a kid. No, I can't do that." Sure,
right.
Yeah. He's like, I am not gonna go to jail for you, Missy.
That's how Chris even ended up with her, because he wanted Shelly, and him and Shelly could have picked up, except for that Huda went and cried to him and villainized Shelly.
Yeah.
To the point where he was like, well, if motherfuckers don't understand, Shelly all of a sudden became a motherfucker.
She needs to teach a master class.
Yes.
On
how to manipulate a black
man. What she did to Chris. Chris forgot what he watched that she did to Jeremy. He was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Look at you crying, you little baby. Also, black men, stop going for those type of girls. You're gonna end up in jail. I'm not kidding you. Because
I kind of feel like that's where his mom was when she was like, the way she sat back and was like, nope, I don't have anything to say. It was like, you made this bed, you're gonna lie in it.
No, Mama said, I'll talk to you when you get home.
Yeah.
She's very beautiful, which is factual.
Yeah.
She did say she's nice. She goes, oh yeah, she's very beautiful. Oh, she's growing. That's why he was trying. He wanted to throw up before when they announced the parents. Because she goes, my mom and my sister, they're gonna eat Huda's ass.
Yes.
LRGA.
But then they were like, ooh, if my son and brother can get this 100K, let me just support her.
They were being black mom and black sister, like, we're gonna talk when you get home.
Right. We're not about to embarrass you.
He knew, because that's what I do. I'm saying ourselves in public in front of all. No. We get home, we will have a little chat. He knows.
Little chat.
That's why he didn't include her, their roses and thorns or whatever that version was at the dinner table.
Pits and peaches.
Yeah, he didn't mention her at all.
I was surprised she didn't crash out about it.
Oh, she crashed out internally. Did you see the stare?
Yeah.
Oh, she was like, you better not hope I win the 100,000 because I'm keeping it. I think she will do that because she's realizing he didn't acknowledge her doing the yoga class thing, which was also another stupid, immature thing she does. They were supposed to be the host. So why would he mention his thing? He's there to, that's, if I go to yoga, my yoga teachers are like, well, what also the thing I like about me? No, they focus on the, the group that they are. But she's like, but he didn't say anything about me. We're like, Huda, stop, baby, please.
Oh my gosh.
Her sisters told her, do less of this. They did the hand gesture for yapping a lot.
Yeah.
They're like, you need to stop doing this.
Well, it's too late. There's only 2 episodes left. I wish the family could have came day 4.
Well, that's the whole point. The thing is, they couldn't go there and chastise her too, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. They'll be like, oh my God, you messed up so much. But if you go when your sister is feeling down, you kind of pat them on the back, but tell her sisters, I thought, were really good about telling her some truths. But also giving her a little support. Also, one of that sister of her is I'm like, Huda, why did you change your face? Because I think she used to look like, that sister is so gorgeous.
Yeah, she did have a whole different nose.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like, don't change your look.
And she put those freckles. All those freckles are fake. Her
really?
nose, her lips, all of it.
What are you talking about?
Love Island, Chanel. I'm glad you finally get to hear us. You can hear us, yeah?
Yes, I can hear you.
Right on. How are you, darling?
Sorry. I'm good.
It's all good. It's all good. Technical difficulties. Mercury's going retrograde on the 17th, you guys. So be prepared for a lot more of that.
It's retrograde right now, Missy.
I don't know what retrograde means. What does that mean?
Well, when Mercury specifically go retrograde, it affects your communication, your electronics.
You fight with people you don't even have any beef with.
Yeah, it's like you both are. One is saying the blue is the sky, and the other one is saying the sky is blue, and you're both saying the same thing. You're arguing. Yeah.
Larsha, I love you.
That's what it is, right? That's exactly.
No, you're so good. The shit is so wide, and I love it.
Right on. Chanel, are you Love Islanding? Are you Real Housewives of Atlanta-ing? Are you Real Housewives of Miami?
Listen.
Do you want to talk about what 45 did? Do you want to talk about how Curville, Texas turned down the money from Obama and Biden because it was the devil's lettuce?
Oh. Well, I can't add any new reality TV shows to my listen. It's just too much.
What's your list right now?
Oh, let's see. What do I watch? I watch Atlanta, which is annoying to me.
Oh,
And
tell us
then
all about how it annoys you. That's what we've been talking about all. No, I didn't. Or tell us
oh
the
Yeah.
peats and the pitches, the peats and the bitches. Then tell us the pits and the peaches for you for Atlanta this season.
well, okay, so I could say this. I liked the entire cast. I did. I like the entire cast for the reasons that I have. But I feel like people were giving them the blues. I don't know if I believe all of the stuff that people have been saying about their ratings in Atlanta. Because this season was the first season where I felt like, oh, I don't need Kenya. Oh, we don't need
Thank
Nene. We don't
you.
need. I just felt like it was a different cast and they didn't need any of those people. Not that those people aren't great, but I thought it was better. I think Portia's annoying as hell, and she's who she is. She's jealous of her friend. It's unfortunate, and
Mm.
um, I don't love Shamia. I never really loved her, but I always felt like she was a good addition to the show. If that makes sense, kind of like Marlo. Like you only need her in a certain amount of scenes, but I do think that she showed up, in my opinion. Like her life of everything that's going on is more well rounded in terms of her story than everybody else I'll put together personally.
100%.
Um, I don't know how I feel about Angela. I know you don't like Angela. Is Angela? Because I just think I feel like her marriage isn't what she's pretending for it to be. It just doesn't ring true to me. But that's just me. Everybody hated the other girl, the one that has the nose that can't talk really, whatever. But I didn't dislike her. I mean, I disliked her, but I didn't dislike her for reality TV. Because you need somebody who is fake and phony and probably not gonna tell the truth most of the time, but she's agitating people on the show. I think she needed to stay, but she left. I think isn't she suing them for like $30 million or some shit? Um, and then I love Cynthia just in general. She just brings like a calming force to the crazy. And then I'm trying to think of who else. Oh, and I loved Kelly. I feel like Kelly should stay even if they kick everybody else off. I liked Kelly. She seemed to be the most genuine. But I don't know, how did y'all feel about that situation that was going on where the man came at the end? He supposedly was spilling the beans and allegedly it was about Angela's uh husband being whatever cheating on her. And
Well,
then
Large
Angela
and I
seemed to
know
be
a
the
lot about
person,
that.
huh?
Large and I know a lot about that man. There's a lot of
Oh,
tea that has
About
about
been
the
which man?
guy that
About
was
exposed.
which
spilling
man?
it. Okay.
About which man? I had to
The
go grab my son.
About
what
Marcus.
is it? Curtis or whatever.
Him
Whoever
Marcus.
the
Marcus.
guy was that was bringing the
Marcus,
tea, so to speak.
who came and exposed Angela's marriage stuff
Oh yeah, and that
because Charles
Phaedra
went to
didn't
his
do it.
restaurant.
Phaedra didn't do it.
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so who
There's
was
So
it?
this
tea.
is one time that Phaedra didn't do it.
Mm-mm.
And that's per Michelle A.T. Alien. Shout
Yep.
out. If she says it and it's in Atlanta, then I believe it. And
Well, also, Larja, it's not just that, it's like the perpetrator that came apparently did it under duress because Angela found out his background about some stuff with little kids
Oh.
and used it to say he has to frame Phaedra. But it got
that
all
is so
exposed
convoluted.
because his employee was with them the whole time and he recorded some interesting little convos.
Mel, I was gonna email you. I'm gonna text you her number, but you know what I wanted first was the your friend's name so I can let her know that I gave you guys her number.
Oh, okay, I'll do that. But I was gonna say, hello, ladies. How y'all doing?
Hi.
Hi,
Hello.
Mel. A huge fan, a fan.
Oh, thank you. I was just thinking about curves yesterday because I emailed you, but yeah, I definitely will email you all that. And yeah, I just want to listen because you know what I like the title. I was going through, I'm just finishing up some stuff today on Sunday, and I saw the title politics and TV
Ugh.
shows. I was like, okay, you know what? Let me listen because I love this.
Well, right on. Well, we're just talking about it all. We have, I just brushed on politics. Nobody wants to tap in.
Yeah. No.
We're all
Thank you.
trying to stay at a happy place, but I was gonna be willing to talk about it if somebody wants to play. But it was so far it's Love Island, Real Housewives of Atlanta. We
Did
haven't
you
really
mention
talked.
Miami, Larja?
Yeah, it's on the thumbnail because of Guerdy.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. I'll go back. And
I
Yeah,
can never get
we
into
haven't
my.
talked about it yet, though. We can
we can
agree
do a
whatever you want.
special edition because that was BS.
Yeah, and remains BS because now Stephanie Shoja on Real
Mm.
Housewives of Miami, the new housewife who lied to us and said, "Oh, I met my husband, my now husband, when I was 26." She said someplace out. She should have said, "Oh, I was his ex-wife's assistant, and I was making all their dates and planning all their business transactions, and decided I wanted that, and so I changed my name to their last name, even though he didn't legally divorce her until
Mhm.
2019."
Oh,
And then
Yes.
Oh,
we
she's a
got
beautiful.
married after that but we've been together since I was 26 because I have inserted myself in their life. And then I made him with this magical pussy. I
Oh,
made
whoa,
him
whoa, 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 whoa,
um,
whoa,
I
whoa.
made him spend the kids' money on jets that we owe money on. And part of the reason that she's allegedly doing the show is because even if she does only make $100,000 as a noob, she can translate that into $5 million worth of like credit and collateral. So all money is good money, especially on this case. Yeah.
Wow. That's all
Allegedly.
I was gonna say that's all going down in Miami. I had to look. I'm like I didn't know like I haven't kept up with
Let
Miami.
the mess begin.
Wow,
Yeah.
Stephanie,
yeah, I
welcome
haven't
to
kept up with
reality
Miami this
TV.
year. I was gonna say I like the thumbnail because what for me I like when reality shows are so trending that it catches my attention because I didn't even know what Love Island was. So I'm seeing all over YouTube and places about this woman being canceled and all. I'm like, what is going on over here? And I think I saw Meg Thee Stallion maybe in one episode. So I don't know what the show is, but I do see it on social media. I do see it. And I was like, I'm not, I hear about it. So I'm glad that you're talking about it because I didn't even know what it was about. And then I knew about Guerdy with the Miami situation over there. I love Guerdy. I love her and her family. I follow that social media. And I don't like that every year that one of the ladies in one attack her somehow physically or, expose or try to just not see the humanity in this beautiful woman. So I don't know. I'm hearing about these shows, but I haven't really been keeping up. So that's why I'm happy that you were talking about them.
I remember I followed Jojo Says, and he pretty much recapped it and it is. He basically said when what Julia did to Gordy was set up by Larsa, Marisol, and Alexa, and I believe that because even when I go back and the look at that scene, and even where the ladies were sitting down, it felt like they egged, I guess behind the scenes egged Julia on and purposely sat the two only black girls to be when they threw the water, it would hit them only. And I'm like, yes, this is all set up. They and I think they did it because they wanted Gordy to be activated to get mad, probably even be aka the angry Batgirl, so they could use that against Gordy to get her kicked off the show because Marisol has been trying so hard to get on this show. She married that guy. She went and got a private eye on Dr. Nicole, and I think they were trying to get Gordy to go out of herself, quote unquote, which she will never because Gordy is too classy to do that
Yeah.
so she could get on the show. So she could be full time on the show. And it failed. That's what I think that's what it was.
You see,
You know,
and I think that's interesting because I haven't watched the show this year. But my issue is that, and the struggle I'm having with Bravo every year is that the Black community, the African American community, support this network beyond anything. Like we really love this network, and it seems like the people that we have up there, like ourselves, the Gerdys, and just other people, and different, even the colorism that used to happen in Potomac, it just that they don't seem to really respect our community enough, in my opinion. Like we need a little. I want to have a good time when I watch Bravo. I don't want to feel like because of lunatics in the White House that they can just the Karens on these different shows can really be even more sneaky and cutthroat. I'm still recovering from the crap that happened in Beverly Hills. That's probably why I haven't watched Bravo after Garcelle was gone. I just was mad with the network in general. Then I just was focused on the craziness of the politics, but the people who I'm rooting for, which is my sisters, African American ladies up there, or just that kind of thing, and no colorism, none of that, they are having a hard time these past couple of years. And so to see Miami now,
Mhm.
this Guerdy, have her cancer question last year, now physically be attacked, but she's still healing from cancer this
yes.
year. it's like, why do the sisters on these programs, even I think some girl in Summer House, she was having difficulties too with dating, and it's just like, some of the fact is, if you happen to be a black woman on a Bravo show, they either say that you're talking about your race too much, or you're being treated like inhumane. And Andy's not saying enough about it. Again, I feel like people, as they said, the idiot Camille Grammer said last year, which I used to love. She said, "Is Bravo?" Maybe she didn't say Bravo, but I think she meant that. Is Bravo becoming too woke? She said, "Is Beverly Hills becoming too woke?" I believe people who vote, as Nick Kimball was saying, that a lot of people love this administration. They love them, and I
They
think they got
love it.
and they got very bold, Curves, very bold now in these new taping of these shows, that they feel like, well, we can treat and say, and we can be a Kelly Dodd if we want to on these
Yeah.
shows, and we won't have anybody to hold us accountable, because Andy be like, well, I don't know, and he doesn't say anything, and it's just like, that's probably why I've disconnected. I've been reading more, but yeah, that's what I feel like, what's going on now. Atlanta is something, because actually, not to change subject too much, but BRit Eady, I find her to be, in my opinion, didn't be nice, because I talked with her, surprisingly this season, when I haven't been calling in. I actually talked to the woman, just in a couple of messages, not in full conversations. And she was a sweetheart. She was an absolutely sweet woman.
Yeah.
And I've always said that I don't feel like she was perfect. I don't think she's a perfect human being. But do I think that she was Mia Thornton? Absolutely not. I didn't think she was
Right.
Mia. So the way that the audience was dragging her because of the misunderstandings or whatever, it just was beyond me. So
It was
I
hard
might.
to watch. It was
Was
hard
it?
to watch for entertainment. It was
It
very hard
was. It
to watch
was.
that for entertainment.
I will
And
say that.
the
Yeah, I was gonna
women
say.
that we've grown to love on that show specifically, like, just fall into her abuse. It was just
Yeah.
weird. It was weird.
Yes, and I was going to say, I'm actually excited for the next season, and which surprises me, because I've been enjoying Phaedra's interviews. I saw in The View, and then she's not one of my favorites either, but I don't know. I feel like something is changing over there. I feel like, I don't think they're going to wait as long to film again, which I think would be a mistake for them to wait a year or so just to regroup. I think they have some interesting ladies there now. I believe that because Kenya may be gone or whatever, Britt is definitely gone. I think that they probably can have a good season next year, especially with the rumors of other people coming back or whatever. So it was an adjustment. It was a very painful adjustment this year to watch. But I think that next year's going to be good, because I'm not mad with Cynthia there, Phaedra, and Portia, and all of them. They're
Yeah.
not perfect, but
What's the painful adjustment? I'm confused.
Well, I think the painful adjustment was that, at least with the women.
Kenya.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, but the women had said, Chanel, you know what they said? We were so excited that the producers and we planned for almost 2 years to film this show. We had all the pieces, and we had every part, and we had everything together. We had everything together, and it fell apart with this scandal at the restaurant, and the exposure that Kenya did. It all just went haywire. So they had to regroup, call in Phaedra, and,
Mhm.
and we had to put this thing together. And so they did the best. And so that was an adjustment. They had a full plan, and it just got tore up. Now, maybe because they don't have as much explosive, characters there next year, they may be able to plan correctly and see it through. And so I think that may be the hope. But this year they had a plan, and it got derailed by Kenya with her antics, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we
hope
need to
Kenya
bring
doesn't
back.
come back
Sorry.
though.
Go ahead, Chanel. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I just hope Kenya doesn't come back. I think
No.
she needs to move on with her
I
life.
agree.
Like for real.
No, please, por favor.
Right. I never liked her. I never liked Phaedra. It's a few of them that I never liked. I didn't understand why they were there. I actually like Phaedra more on and I know people hated her over there, but I actually liked her on Married to Medicine, because
Mm,
the whole entire time Phaedra was on Housewives, she wasn't being who I feel like she wasn't able to be exactly who she is, because she was always trying to be the church lady with the church cloth, married to the convict, that she had
mhm,
to try to like keep him in line. But you know what I'm saying? Like I just felt like she was always on, I have to pretend. I can't
mhm,
see, let anybody see
Mhm.
who I really am, because she just wanted to have that fake phony, I'm a church lady and I'm an attorney and I know, and to me it was just disingenuous. And I feel like when she went over to Married to Medicine, and I just feel like she was able to just kind of be who she is now, which is somebody who keeps putting needles in her face, and she needs to stop. And just being more free. Like I don't feel like she ever would have been free like that on Atlanta
Chanel,
Housewives.
can I give a counterpoint
Mm-hmm.
about Phaedra?
Mm-hmm.
Phaedra has always been who Phaedra is. It's just people don't like what she presents. This is the thing. They all lie. Sheree, Kenya, Candy of all. They all present a representative when they come in, then they grow into it. Okay? It's true. Phaedra is. Have you seen her mom? She is supposed to be and then she came and she's like, you know what? That's not me. She's a messy boo, but she's funny. As have you seen her on Traders? Even on Married to Medicine, that thing you said she's an attorney. Exactly. She goes in there, she assesses the situation. She goes, okay, where can I go and mess the minimal damage after I get booted for 5 years for following
Mhm.
a producer's instructions to, concoct a cockamamie lie on Candy that she just followed. She has said that, but she's smart. She didn't alienate Bravo and NBC Universal. So she just navigated herself and created a new business. You can say one thing. The girl does not stop working. She is working. And she's you looking at her now, you seen the authentic Phaedra now that she's back in her fold on Atlanta. Her kids, that oh my god, it was the most heartwarming thing. Her son doesn't can't find pen. She didn't say, oh no, I'm gonna go find somewhere where we can buy. She goes, well, why don't you create it? Look what she's doing, you know. So she married a convict.
No, I completely 100% disagree. But I hear you. I hear you. And now I'm saying that with
Touche, touche.
love. But
Mhm.
I would say the best part of Phaedra personally is
Mhm.
her children. That's what I
Mhm.
would say. I think that's when she's the most honest. I do think that.
Mhm.
And I to be fair, I understood and understand why Phaedra was being fake the whole time she was on the Housewives. Is because she grew up with these parents that are preachers, and people have a stigma of what they think you should be, and I think she kind of wanted to fill those shoes, so to speak. um but I just don't think she was. I think she was trying her best to paint a picture that is see-through. It's
Yeah.
completely see-through. Like, do I think she loved her husband or whatever? Yeah.
But
Do
you
I think
just
they
put a
was a good
nail.
fit for what
You
they
just
were doing? Yeah, but
you.
it just wasn't
Sorry.
genuine. And I think this is when I think it turned for Phaedra, at least for me, for sure, is when they all went on that trip when Kenya started whatever, and Kenya was flirting with Apollo, and Apollo was flirting
Mhm.
with Kenya, and they threw each other in the pool or whatever. I think that's when everything in Phaedra got turned up 1,000, because she couldn't what's the right word? You know how she could manage Apollo? She couldn't manage Kenya, because Kenya is Kenya. Can y'all hear me? Because something is happening. I don't know
Yeah,
if
I
y'all can
can
hear me
hear
now.
you. You know what?
But but I
Yeah.
think something turned when that happened, and she became super
Mm.
protective
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
wanted to kind of like protect her marriage. She didn't want to get divorced, because I feel like
Mm.
she's one of those people that's like, I'm not gonna do it because everybody thinks we are. So I'm not gonna do it. And then it wasn't until she had to, when he went off to jail, and it was her, I think, opportunity to be like, okay, I can go back to trying to, be who I probably am on some
Mhm.
level. But the other reason, and I'll say this one last thing, the other reason that I always never really connected with her is because I feel like how she was with Candy. And a lot of people don't like Candy, and I never was a Candy fan, but I did like that Candy of all of them, probably outside of maybe Nene on some level, was the most honest about her life. I don't think Candy's sitting around
Mhm.
caring about what people think about her in that way, the way all of
Mhm.
the other ones were. So I never understood why they fell out. Not
Well, I
saying
do.
not saying with what happened on the show, because I know that was the biggest, piece, but
Mhm.
I'm saying the downfall of it. Y'all remember that, where it was just kind of like Nene was connecting with
I
Phaedra,
kind of remember.
and
I
Phaedra was
kind of
going
remember the
through what she
fallout.
was going through, but it was kind of like I never understood why she was mad at
Well,
Candy.
Phaedra is very. You know what I think, Chanel, and I agree with the other caller, and I want Allie to jump in. I'm going to say this real quick.
Mhm.
I agree with both of you, Chanel, and other caller that dropped down, because you know what, Phaedra. Yes, the caller said before, and that dropped down. Didn't she come on the show? Didn't even know her due date. That was crazy. Like that was totally crazy. She
Right.
came
She
up
started
there
in a whole lie.
and she came in
Yeah.
with the lie right away. Then we had Miss
Yeah.
Angela Stamm on her heels in the background in the bushes somewhere with that book. So she was already on. The people already hunting her down with her lies or alleged lies. So that's kind of
Mhm.
was her formula. But you said something. I said a lot of good things. I love listening to everybody
Huh.
talking. I do because you know what I feel, and I'm gonna feel something about what you said, and I'm gonna close out so I can give to Miss Allie. I feel that what dropped Phaedra, always what drops Phaedra, to be honest with you, is that she's never honest about her feelings. Now, the simple fact is, what I
Mhm.
say to the viewer, she's a very, very smart woman, very just very accomplished businesswoman. Obviously,
Mhm.
come on, the people judge her about her law practice, but delay making money. But
Mhm.
she's very sensitive. So when it came to Candy and her friendship, she simply could have said, "Girl, I'm going through something." Now, mind you, she didn't really want to tell the audience or Candy really what was going on about the inner workings of that kind of crazy marriage. But she was going through something, and she wanted Candy to be a mind reader. Now, again, Candy is not my
I
favorite.
agree.
She's
Yep.
not Candy is not my favorite, but she just wanted her to be a mind reader. And then when she wasn't, she was clocking Candy talking to any other woman on the cast, and then she started getting her feelings, and she
Mhm.
started hooking up. Excuse me, not hooking up. She started connecting with Portia and stirring the pot, and then being used. So she was sensitive. She felt hurt, and then she became vicious. That's her pattern.
I
And
agree.
and I think that when she came back, now that burned her. It almost got her cancer. So when she came back,
Mhm.
she was in shell shock. And what I said last year when she came up in the show, I said, I don't know this Phaedra. I said, Phaedra come up here like a cartoon character playing a Mary J. Blige drag. That's what I called her.
This is true. I
Because
agree.
she was coming up there with costumes on, with glasses. She was helping
Mhm.
with funerals and, walking with
Mhm.
a casket. This was not Phaedra. Now, the simple fact is, the Phaedra I enjoyed in the recent past years was actually when she was on the girls trip with that crazy Dorinda in her house. Because
Ah,
Mhm.
I never
Yes.
got to see that one. Is it
that
It,
available?
she
I need to go
it's
watch
it
still
was
it.
on. It should be on Peacock still.
Okay, listen,
come
I
on,
gotta
Alan.
watch
Wasn't
that
she
when I'm
funny?
done.
She was.
Mhm.
They were
It
drinking.
was.
They were playing
Yeah.
games, and you know what, Alan? Because she wasn't there for 2 months, she didn't have a chance to get angry or meet on censor. She just was drinking, and she was of all things, she was a peacemaker. Some of those,
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
she was a peacemaker
And,
over there.
She has
So,
and I
a way
think
that she could
she
be,
did
but she
mhm,
change.
just isn't on Atlanta.
mhm,
And I think after her not being on the show, she kind of did change because we all keep forgetting. We make fun of Phaedra, but we all have
mhm.
to remember this woman went to school and graduated and passed the bar and was a lawyer.
Oh yeah.
And those type of skills of being a lawyer, of kind of like I guess they call don't self snitch, keep
Mhm,
everything in, don't tell anybody nothing. You just kind of, and for what I understand, lawyers when they go to trial, it's like a performance. I'm trying to
mhm,
win
Mhm.
an argument. I'm trying to win a case, and I'm trying to tell a story that I think is the truth. That's
Correct.
what makes Kenny makes Portia so not Portia, Phaedra so
Phaedra.
entertaining. She
mhm,
is on that mode because even in her interviews, she is talking legally. She is very careful how she answered the question. That is the
mhm.
part of Phaedra you cannot get out of her. So if you want Phaedra to be authentic, to me, I'm thinking that part of her being a lawyer is never going to be real. I think the only time we did see is when she's with her son, which is ironic because you notice the most controversial or most unlike housewives are like the best mom, aka Giselle. Can
Mhm.
you not do you not
Whoa, come
realize
on,
that there
Lord. You're right.
do
Yeah,
you
You
not
started off her.
realize that?
yeah.
And I feel that if you have such I always feel the apple doesn't fall from the tree. The way your children are, it kind of reflects a little bit, just a
Mhm,
little bit, not everything, on your parenting. And I was like, you see those two young boys, and I have to give Phaedra her flowers to raise two young black boys
yeah,
to be so well respected and well rounded. It's a lot in 2025.
absolutely. I agree.
And and she has to, and she is trying to co-parent with
Mhm.
Apollo, so she is making sure during their life. We do have to give her some flowers that they seem to be well
Yeah,
rounded.
I
So there
think
is something
that
about
yeah.
Phaedra, and I
you
think
you hit the nail on the head because
mhm,
that's the only part of Kenya that I can ever even tolerate
Mhm.
is a child.
yeah,
Like it's the only part because I just be wanting to just like because Kenya's a bully and
Sorry
I
about that.
cannot with her. But anyway,
Yeah,
carry on.
Kenya is a
Sorry.
bully.
Yeah, I can't with her. She irritates me. Because
Yeah.
this is the thing with
I,
Kenya.
and the
I was
thing
gonna say
is,
this one last thing. This is the reason why I can't with Kenya outside of her being a bully, is because the way that she wants all the respect that she wants to get from people in the world is, I was Miss USA, Miss America, whoever the hell she said her title is. But I'm like, girl, yes, you were that, and yes, that's something to say that you're accomplished, but that's not something you did. Meaning, your parents, your grandparents, your great grandparents, they all contributed to your beauty. It's not like you went and became beautiful. So this idea that, oh my God, this is such a big thing, like that's not like how someone was saying about Phaedra being an attorney or being, you have to go and train and learn and be the, you didn't have to do that. So that's why I just never could with her, because she always made it seem like this is the best and I'm a part of history. And I'm like, so now what else?
Yeah.
Like, you went from that and what else? And I'm not taking any of
and
her
and I
accomplishments away from her. I'm just saying she sits that
no,
as at the top, and it's like being beautiful has nothing to do with who that person is. That's how somehow their genetics, you know what I'm saying? It's
Uh-huh.
like Giselle coming and saying, do you guys know how beautiful I am? Do you know
Right.
that I was, and it's like, yes, we can see you. We see it. What else? So anyway, sorry. Carry on.
no, I mean, and I agree because the thing is, I think her clinging on so much to her formal title, I think it's also that little bit of trauma she had from her past when it comes to her mom being rejected by her birth mom. Because at some point there was some acceptance, and she's still holding on. Maybe, I don't want to diagnose someone, but maybe she would do really well of being vulnerable and talking, sitting down and talking to someone and really unravel these issues that she's been holding on for decades. Because I always felt like Kenya, she never actually dealt with it. She said, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm
Uh-huh.
fine on the outside, but I don't think she ever truly dealt with it
Well, that's a
on that
trauma.
emotional level because you could see the trauma and how she reacts to other people. It's just not in her age. She's like in her what? How old is Kenya? She's
I think.
too
She's 69.
with the fact that in
No,
Good
her age
Lord.
and
I'm
have
joking.
yes, and has a young daughter, it is absolutely, in my opinion, necessary that she really unpack that level of trauma because it must be hard. And I'm trying to give her some grace,
But
but it
listen
must
though,
be
this is the
hard
problem.
to live somewhere near your mother, somewhere like it's one to be adopted, I never know, but to live somewhere near your mother and your mother openly, repeatedly
Mm-hmm.
rejects you,
It
it
is.
does
Listen,
something to you. It kind of does, and then not to, and I think her denial or her refusal to really heal that little baby girl Kenya
Now,
is what's
Ali,
hard.
not
has
to, oh, go
Kenya
ahead,
has
Chanel.
arrested development. That's the thing. She's
Mm-hmm.
stuck where the trauma happened. But the reason, and I can give her, because I'm
Mhm.
a therapist in real life, but I could give her grace all day for that. 100%, because I get it, I understand it, I know it, I understand it. The problem that I have with Kenya now is beyond her being the bully that she is like, if you look at what she did with her hair salon or hair spa, whatever that was, you're
Uh-huh.
saying this is in the name of your daughter and you're building this for your daughter, and we can all get on board with that, right? But then you go and you do the most
Mhm.
vicious thing to
Mm-hmm.
somebody that was
That's true.
unnecessary.
That's
So
true.
it's like,
You
that's
know,
my problem with you. No matter what, the bully overly overshadows all the other good things. Like, Kenya is one of those people that I look at her and I think she's an excellent mom, but I can't cut it out because I can't even give you that, because then you still over here 50 something years old doing the absolute most and shit
Yeah.
you don't have to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, which lane do you want to be in? Because I can't do that and then tell my daughter she should be gracious and she should be forgiving and she should be, it's just a bad scenario. And I'm just like, what do you
Right.
do? Because this is not something you did when you was 26. You 50 something years old, you know better. You just don't give a shit.
Can I just say real quick that
yeah.
you're right? We don't want to diagnose anybody. That's what Google is for.
I can diagnose her. I have a
Elijah.
whole license. So
I know
I
that's right,
diagnose.
Chanel. Go
No.
ahead. No, but you know what? Can I
Or
just say,
chat GPT.
ChatGPT. You know, I was going to say too,
Oh
Kenya.
no,
So
she
when I
didn't say.
first saw Kenya on the show, and not to get too detailed, I connected with a storyline with her, not connected with her mom, because I knew a woman in my family who I love, 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 love very dearly, and she had the same struggle. Now she didn't go out being as aggressive, or I want to use that word. She didn't go
Yep.
out and be as problematic as Kenya has been on the program. But the woman I've known in my life who had this issue where she was connected with her mother, she cried every day about that. You know, it was devastating. So I know that Kenya is definitely. I mean, from what I witnessed with this own woman who was very very connected to me. It's devastating to be rejected by your parent. Absolutely.
And
But I think,
equivalent,
yes, yeah.
real quick, Mel, if you can hold that, because I just wanted to insert, like my husband lost his father at 10,
Mm,
like in front of him kind of thing. And
mm.
he's always been affected by that too. So it's not like just rejection. It's literally like the absence of, I can get behind that as a trigger. It's just when you use it against other people, it's like
That's
that's what
right.
therapy is for. Don't leave the house if you're going to be a bitch to every woman you meet because your mom was mean to you when you were 5. Just don't leave the house. Don't come over here and make it my problem.
Well,
You know
and that was
what's
that was
worse?
what I was going to, and that's
Yeah,
what, and
and
that
that's
was
what
what I
I
was
was
going to go
getting
to.
to
That point
because
too is that again, as one I think Lady said, now that you're a mom, and it was really cringeworthy when she did give so much flowers and beautifulness to her daughter before she did something so horrific to her sister. Basically,
Yep.
she basically
yeah,
was like, "This is for my daughter in the name of my daughter that worked all these years, and now let me take down this black woman who actually is a wife and
And a
who has
daughter.
and
And a
has a daughter."
daughter.
And has other things going on. Again, she's not me at all, and absolutely not. So she didn't deserve nobody, actually, no
no.
sister, no, especially in the time we live in, no sister should be treating another sister that way publicly or privately at all. And you should
All
not be
over a
doing that.
slot on an ensemble cast, really?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, you shouldn't be
But you
doing
know
that.
what's worse?
And
And like I said, she's too old. She's like what, 59
I
you
don't know.
said, Chanel?
oh, no.
And Brit is like not even 40. So you have this huge
Right.
age gap. And you like in your big age, you don't know to just regulate your
But
emotions.
this
The
is the
mere
And
thing
that's
fact
why
that
I
though.
she's
felt
been
like
here
when Brit came
a
on,
Ali,
generation
Kenya just like
longer,
was upset.
the mere fact that
Yeah.
she's been
She
here
was
a
upset
generation
and she was
longer
jealous.
implies that she should know better.
But this is the thing with Kenya. If you think about it, Kenya is very shrewd, and she can be a evil queen is with the best, in my opinion. But when you think about somebody who she went and chose to marry, and he was such a huge,
oh
he was wrong in all kinds of ways, but he was a narcissist. He was a whole bunch of different things. Like allegedly, I'm gonna say that on Mrs.
no, he
Larger Curves.
humiliated
But
her.
the point that I'm making is I would listen, what we witnessed was part of what we witnessed, and it was horrible. So
Mhm.
whatever we didn't witness is
Oh.
like 10 times worse. You know what I'm saying? But the way
Mm-hmm.
that she would follow him and kind of like let him lead, because she so desperately wanted that whole marriage to come together and be for the rest of her life. I really do feel that way. And I also feel like he lost out with somebody who I think would have been a good wife. I think I don't like Kenya for 100 reasons, but I definitely think she would have done everything she could have done to be a good wife to him, to have that
Mm.
parents parental whatever for her child. I wholeheartedly believe that if he wasn't such a narcissist, there were things he could have taught her, like have some grace. Because remember when Nene showed up and Nene was trying to be nice to her at the bowling alley and all that,
Hmm.
and she was listen, it was coming through her pores how much she hated Nene. It was just like, I can't do this with her right now. But
Yeah.
even with that, she still was like, okay, well, whatever my husband says, we're gonna. And so she has it in her to be meek, and you know what I'm saying. But she just she doesn't.
I
Oliver,
agree with you, 100%.
Oliver, are you going to come on the TikTok later and watch Love Island finale live with us?
Who are you asking? Are you asking me?
Palaver and me watching.
Oliver.
Is Palaver still here?
Oh, I
I
see that person. I didn't know.
I think I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
You want to? Are you have the TikTok?
I have. Oh, I think I have one. I don't use it because they scared the bejesus out of me. I watch cute videos. I don't go on.
Oh,
Okay,
darn!
give
Because
me your handle.
we're gonna do a live watch party of Love Island finale in what 4 hours now?
What is
Okay.
Love Island? Is that like what is
It's
that?
like at 6 o'clock at my time because I'm PST. I'm Pacific time.
Yeah, but it's been coming on at 5:30 the whole time, Palaver.
N- No, it comes on at 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing. I watch it at 6 o'clock because then I want to catch you guys.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite content recappers and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And you guys all come on. You come on earlier.
Yeah, I've been coming on at 5:30 with the live,
Oh
and then
my
we do
god!
questions. Yeah,
Yes, of
we're
course I'll
doing
come.
yeah. So the here I'm gonna put the app in the
So
chat.
how do
But
people? I never understood that. How do people watch something on
We all
TikTok.
watch it together, and then we.
Ella. Oh, so y'all are watching it on y'all's TV, but then y'all
Yeah,
respond
so I
on
play it on
TikTok?
my TV, and if you're
Okay.
on my live, then you don't get copyright strikes
Okay, I didn't know
on
that.
TikTok.
Yeah. And then we all go, did you see that? Oh my God, no.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
So
So
are the
yeah,
people
tonight at
falling in love
5:30,
on Love Island?
5:30 on the TikTok that's at LRGA Curves. You guys can
Oh,
come.
I can be there, Larja.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun. It's been really fun. The most I had in there on one night was like 500 people. That was so much fun.
Oh my
Really?
God.
Mhm.
That's cool.
I hope I
Okay.
have a lot for tonight's finale.
People are into this.
We're so into it.
So
We're
tonight, did you
so.
find
Why
out
are we
who's the
so
winner?
into it? And you know, it's interesting because I did not get caught up in Diddy, but I'm totally into this.
I'm not
You don't
watching
you
that.
ain't
I'm
missing nothing
sorry,
with Diddy.
Larja.
You ain't missing
No.
nothing.
It's,
That was
it's just
that
too
was
dark. I can't. I like
Yeah.
seeing that girl. No, it's
And oh my gosh,
anyway. Never
did you
mind.
see they're suing Cassie now? They're coming after all the people, all the sex workers that got called on the stand and who played the tapes of Cassie, like being the one who brought them there, Cassie helping to abuse them. They're
I don't
suing
care.
Cassie now.
I
I
don't
heard
care.
about that. But
I
you know
don't
what's
care.
crazy? I'm team victims. I don't care. They never changed
Right.
no here. I
Yeah,
could care less. Plus, I also feel like
she was
it's kind of like,
groomed.
well, not only that, if you know anything about Diddy, if you go down a rabbit hole whatsoever, you will find so many different I'm gonna just say allegedly bodies on that man
Mm-hmm.
that I just feel like when someone's under the influence of drugs and alcohol and all that kind of stuff, in the way that it seems like she was, because I didn't pay attention to the Diddy trial because I just can't. With the people who want to blame victims, it just bothers my soul.
Yeah,
But I can't really.
Slash
I'm not saying
slash. That's how I feel about BRit. I feel like people are blaming BRit
exactly.
for her own for being a victim, and
who.
she had zero control over what happened with
Oh,
Kim.
you mean on the Housewives? Okay,
Right, right,
Yeah,
right.
that
yeah.
is a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
Different, like the level of cruelty is different, but it is the same
Yeah.
mechanism. My brain I cannot. I haven't watched the trial.
Thanks, Mel.
I
I just got it.
No, I just look at it from a different purview. Working with victims my whole entire career, I can't with people who don't understand it. I can't with people who want to blame victims. I can't
Mm-hmm.
with people that want to say you should have told us a whole 20 years ago. It's like shut up. I just feel
Mm-hmm.
like people deal with their trauma the way, and we all have a trauma center. Every single one of
Oh,
us.
Mm-hmm.
that's
We all
awesome.
experience
Look
trauma.
at this.
So it's like shut the hell up. What's awesome?
But
What are we doing?
No, what Mel just sent me. So she's full on just that. I think Dr. Heavenly would love that as a stop on her thing.
Oh,
Is she? Where is she?
and
Mel?
by the way, what in the hell is Dr. Heavenly doing? Let me stop.
she's running for
Exactly.
state representative in Georgia.
She's
Oh,
doing the work of the people, for the
yeah.
people, by
I
the
know
people.
you are for the people. I know you for
Yeah.
Dr. Heavenly. I
Yeah,
can't.
I'm
Yeah.
for
She,
Dr. Heavenly, and Dr. Heavenly is for the people. I had to come on here and say
yeah.
with my
can't with you,
tired,
with her.
tested face that here again we have Dr. Heavenly proving me right on why she's the number one and why she has been number one over there is because she puts her money where her
We
mouth
not.
is.
We not.
She puts her money
No.
where her mouth is. The whole
Nope.
thing about your mama, your mama, your mama, she gets money for saying your mama. And then
I'm
she
not
puts
playing with
that
her.
money to work.
Yeah. Don't say your mama, Dr. Heavenly. We love
Yeah.
Those are fighting
you. We
words.
love
Stop
you,
it.
Dr.
If I was
Heavenly.
Quad, since Quad is her campaign manager,
She
I
is.
hope
Quad
she
her
works it
campaign
in.
manager.
And when she says, "Who am I going to help?"
Oh my
Mama.
Yes, she is.
God, I can't take
She can take it and turn it all the way around now
No.
because she's going to help your mama and your
No,
mama and
she
your mama. If you in District
Oh my
93,
God.
your
Done.
mama's about to get helped.
You got the
So,
Dr.
Yeah.
Heavenly Kool-Aid that
Yeah.
you drinking.
Oh, yeah. She running. Yeah, because she's running for state
And she'll probably
representative
win.
in Georgia, District 93. That includes Cobb County, another larger part of Rockdale County, and as well
Are
as
we all
Gwinnett
in?
County in
yeah.
Y'all in support of Dr.
Georgia.
Heavenly? Everybody?
Yes, I'm very in
To
support of
District
Dr. Heaven.
93. So interesting enough, I am of it just alerts me to know that it's that time of year to pay attention to election time and as well to our
Because all the
local
freaking
because
people that
her
are in
being
whatever
possibly elected
positions right
also
now.
probably affects me too because you know the counties, how the district are split up as overlapping counties and cities, and I'm right next door to it. It's very close for me, so I am kind of interested
I have a question.
in this area.
Ellie,
Yeah.
you sound like a political strategist. Why don't you run for anything? School,
No, no,
no,
no, no.
school board. Like you sound like you have things broken down into like. I feel like I'm listening to like whatever that some white guy is like doing on TV on CNN or whatever. You know your district. You know everything.
I don't
You
know
can.
everything. I just like to. I took like the
Yes.
first years of really trying to get
Is she
myself
in
more
Georgia?
informed.
Oh, in Atlanta. Right on. Right
Yeah, because
on.
I'm in this area,
Let's
and
take
where
them
she
down.
is right next to it. Because when she came there, I was like,
Well,
"Oh," and my
Florida
was
and
like,
Georgia
"Oh,
are
this
kind
is
of
where
like
it is."
sisters.
In the chat. Okay.
Because the reason why my name is Allie from Miami, because I'm born and raised in Miami, and then moved. So that's why it's a play on my name.
Hmm.
But
It's
yes, I mean,
beautiful.
so I definitely have to vote. I do vote every single time when there's election. I always pay attention to who are my electives are, even down to who's the sheriff is in my district. I'll be saying who is it, because even when it comes to the school board, because I have a child that's in the schools, I kind of pay attention even down to like what the school ratings are in my district, where they're rating individually as like at my school, my son's school. I see where their rating are when it comes to like the testing, where the county is. I
That's
feel
what
like
I'm
I
saying,
have to be informed.
Ali. You should run for school board, and then we're gonna have Representative Ali from Miami. I mean,
Yeah.
Amaya Papaya.
Ellie from Miami.
Let's go.
Miami's hot, 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 hot,
Yeah,
hot,
yeah.
hot, hot.
Absolutely. No, you're fond of. Okay, I thought Larger. I'm sorry, I'm booting you to second place. She
Oh, no
knows
problem. You know
politics.
what? Because I only want to be in rooms where I can learn more, girl. I will
I
gladly be second
know.
place.
I love this. I really love this. I love everybody first. Like we disagree, we agree. We have like tangent and cotangents.
Yes.
Yeah, because even now, like it's hard to like even down to like the judges. When you go to vote, you don't realize that some judges are appointed and some judges you actually vote for,
Yep.
and that I end
They're
up learning those
elected.
things. It's
Hmm.
those, yeah, not yes, yeah. So they have some that are appointed, like for example, the Supreme Court.
Those are
Those are
annoying.
appointed versus being voted in. But then some of the local judges, they are elected. And you want to be careful because if they get elected in, they could eventually move up to being an appointed
Mm-hmm.
positions. So it's very important to know who you're getting to these
Yeah. It's
offices
the
at
same
all
thing
the
with the
time
sheriffs and all
and
those
see
people
where they
too.
are.
You know what I think
Oh
too? I
yeah.
think that the
Yes,
work.
'cause
I was gonna say I think the work that was done in the civil rights movement was like the beginning for us to start voting and having rights. But I think the continuing work that we should be doing, as I'm listening to you ladies, is definitely trying to get into politics. I thought that when I grew up that you had a PhD in politics. You had to have it, but obviously from what we got in the White House, you don't
Hmm.
even have to have all the brain cells to be into
Not the
politics. To
brain
be honest
cells.
with you. So I think that if you're a person in your community that worry about your community, what they can't stop people who are microaggressing and being racist and all type of stuff is
Mm-hmm.
going down to your local community boards, going down to your local community school, and just anything in your community and saying, "Hey, my name is Mr. or Mrs. And I want to learn more about this board. I want to learn more about this, that, or whatever." And I will put my name down. And I want not at different community centers, and even here in New York City, we have Zohan Medani, who I voted for.
Oh, I love him.
I voted for him because you know what? I anybody who is physically, and I don't believe in violence. Really, you can't say that on YouTube.
I
But
love it.
anybody who's come on now, but anybody who's physically going after MAGA people, which he did, and I'll
Oh,
argue, he tried to yoke them up with his hand. I'm voting for that man. That's a man I want to
oh,
vote for.
not
Mm-hmm.
I'm voting for him every single time. So He came out of nowhere from Queens, and he just blew up because he had people knocking at the doors. I think that the next phase that the people that the MAGA people and other people didn't anticipate was that people were not going to be like just sort of sitting around going, "Am I registered and am I able to vote?" No, they'd be like, "I want to be voted for. I want to go somewhere, put my
Mhm.
name down, and I want to start from the very bottom going up." And the more of us in these spaces is going to be the best. Even if we don't make it to the highest level, it really does it's good to just be there. That way we can see stuff and we can notice. So I think that's the next wave
You
for
know
movement.
what, Mel? The only reason I even voted is because of our ancestors and all of the people that, were hung or
Lost
dragged
their
or beat
lives.
up,
That's right.
violated in whatever way,
Hmm.
just trying to get to the voting booth. I
Hmm.
have to vote, and it irritates my soul because when it's so much just beyond it's scary how people can relate to things that are just like against the greater good. I can't understand it. So it's like I've been tuned out, just like I've been tuned out with the Diddy stuff and all that, even though I know it's all egregious and I probably should be paying attention. I just don't even have the bandwidth to like even
No.
to look at what our governments, and meaning the people that are in the government, are allowing. You
Hmm.
get to say, oh, okay, well, we want this man Elon to come in here and we want him to fire everybody in this department. But then you realize, oh, in order for him to do that, he has to actually be a federal employee. So we got to go and hire him so then he can come in here and eliminate. Like, it's just, it's just certain things that I'm like, y'all are shredding the Constitution like confetti. And y'all been doing it for a while. I'm not saying it's just them, but it's just so bold and in your face,
Okay,
and we just
so
don't give a
here I
shit,
go. Here
that
I
I can't
go.
even
Here I
take it.
go. Here I
Come
go.
on, come on, vocals.
What I do? Solange,
I
what I
feel like what to do? I thought the Constitution of all things was inchangeable. Like we're not fucking with that. And now to find all these ins to unravel it from within
Mhm, mhm,
is very telling because the
mhm.
people who have been screaming for it to change to be more inclusive of us particularly have been told, oh no, you can't do that. And now all of
Right,
a sudden you can do all this stuff, really?
right.
You know? And I, I, I understand and love the fact that it's being revealed that all along we could have done this.
Mhm.
And I'm also scared that, okay, now that this is being undone, what's going to replace it? And
Well, the our Constitution
without
has
having
been amended 1,000
structures
times.
even on standby as a thought or a concept is 45, who I refuse to call his number unless it's 34. Um, 45, he has concepts of what to do, and that's why tomatoes are rotting, and the people are going on the way to Alcatraz, and you know what I
Hmm.
mean. It's just so crazy. But what is going to replace and support now all of these holes in the fabric of the racist systems that we've gotten so used to? You see
So
what I
Mhm.
can I
mean?
say this? So Curry. So you know what? This is interesting, and I love that you brought up that perspective about what can go in there. So the thing that I think that maybe Miss Chanel was thinking about too, and everybody, a lot of people, is that I'm so frustrated waking up every day seeing these people
Mhm.
make up the rules as they go. Every morning you wake up, they say, "Oh, what we decided on Tuesday to do that the country should do, we're going to change it
Right.
on Friday." Every day we wake up
Mhm.
and it's a new, different thing with a smile on their face. And I think for me, when I was listening when the fires happened in California, and the MAGA people were threatening the man out there, the governor out there, I think Newsom, the governor. They said, "Oh well, we
Yeah,
don't want to give you
Governor
money."
Newsom,
Oh yeah, well you of course because you're in California too, right, Curves?
California.
Come on, come on.
Mhm.
All right, so when they were threatening them, I was confused. I was talking to family. I said, well, you know, and now obviously they're very quiet, and God bless them. I'm praying for the people in Texas that are being flooded. But when the fires happened, the MAGA people dragged those people beyond. Like they
Mhm.
said, oh, but now when I go to different conservative spaces and I can communicate and write to them and stuff like that, I said, well, y'all had a lot to say with California. Where you at now when it comes to Florida? That man down
Mhm.
in the wheelchair, no shade to him. He sent people up to our state because to prove a point that he sent the migrants up here.
You
He's a
talking
very
about Abbott?
That's right. Mr. Abbott's a very
I
nasty
can't
man.
stand him. I want to push him over. Go ahead. I'm
Well,
listening.
he's a very nasty man. Come on, very
Yeah.
nasty.
Let's push him out
He
his
does
wheelchair.
stunts and shows. Very nasty man.
Mhm.
But yet
Mhm.
now, when the floods is happening, we don't hear the people say, "Oh, well, the government it should be impeached." No. So the thing is, they are very selective. When these people come out and say, "Well, we want to keep money FEMA from California people. We want to blackmail you to do the
Mhm.
things that we." So my thing is, if we're living in crazy times. I don't think it's time to get afraid. It's like, oh, well, we don't. Well, wait, first off, we didn't play by no rules. So I'm not playing by any rules. If you want to blackmail my state, who pays for most of the services in the Rust Belt, which is California and New York City and stuff like that, well, I'm not going to give you no money to Washington D.C.
Preach, Mel.
Washington
Preach.
D.C. is totally corrupt. Why would I give my billions from a blue state to pay for the voters that you end up manipulating? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hold now. Well, that's unprecedented. You can't. No, no. We live in unprecedented times, and if you're
Right.
blackmailing me,
That's
well,
one
I'm not
thing I
going to.
like about Gavy Gav is he's willing. He's like, oh, you mad at me because I'm so handsome? Let's go, guy.
Right. But
You
you
know
know, the
what?
thing is, they blackmailing people. So if I was a governor that was being blackmailed, I'm like, well, I know for 100 whatever many years, this is the rule. This is what we've done. I'm not doing it for the next 4 years. I'm not doing anything normal
Yep.
for the next 4 years because this man is not doing a damn thing normal when he wakes up every morning. I'm just not doing it.
But you know what's
Yeah.
scary? This is what scared me. I watched this documentary on, I think it was Netflix some years ago, called Reversing Roe. And before I watched it, I was a wholehearted you. I am a what is it? Pro life person, because I
Hmm.
always felt like I don't want to. I would never have the A word that I don't think we can say. And I would never tell anyone to have it, but I am a social worker first, and so I'm always going to be like, whatever your rights are, your rights. So I wouldn't try to take that from anyone. But when I watched it, I feel like it was like right before the C-19 stuff happened, and I remember believing there is no way. There is no way in our educated country time that we living in that someone would be able to say you're going to reverse this right that clearly we needed, women needed, however many years ago, whatever the case may be. And then it happened in my state. And I was just kind of like in shock, such in shock that I'm in shock. And what to me, that was the snowballing of all of the stuff that I see now, like where Trump thinks he can go in and say, well, you don't get to just say you're an American. You don't get to be an American simply because you were born in America, which is like your birthright type thing. When he started doing that, and then what they're doing with all of the people that they let off the hook with January 6th, when they did that whole, to me, I call it domestic terrorism, all of that kind of stuff, and you just are pardoning all these people and they all criminals. And then to top it all off, y'all gonna elect a whole ass criminal that has
Yep.
how many felonies, and y'all electing this man, and this is your leader. Like there is no way Barack Obama could have ever in his whole life have been to jail and got and not even for a felony. He couldn't have gone to jail for a traffic ticket that he didn't pay, and they would have let that man be a president. This man can have however many felonies, and then y'all still. I can't. This is why I have decided to dip my hand under the sand, and I understand fully what it means when they say ignorance is bliss, because I hate that every day I don't even want to know. That's the crazy part, because I
Yeah.
know how bad it is. I don't even want to know. It's like I can't. I don't have the energy, and I don't have enough bandwidth to continue to see the democracy get shredded. Like
Hmm.
it's too much.
May
What do
I
you think?
jump in a little bit?
Mhm.
If I may,
Yeah.
Chantal, you literally, was it Chantal? I'm sorry.
It's Chanel, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Chanel,
It's
sorry.
fine.
I
No,
apologize. I knew
no,
I didn't have my glasses on. I'm like, oh, but I know her.
it's fine. Mhm.
Um, I think you hit on a lot of very important points of the nonsense that's happening right now.
Mhm.
This is the thing. The Constitution, the way it's set up, it's a moving, evolving thing.
Mhm.
Prior presidents held on to the law, the letter of the law. Now we have criminals that have infiltrated the government. What
Mhm.
do
They've
you
always
think they
been there.
do? They
They've
might
been
as
there, but
They've
well
they're not
always been
open.
hiding
there. We just
anywhere.
have Twitter now.
Right.
It's not Twitter. It
Okay.
is. It's not Twitter.
I'm
It's like people who are taking advantage of morons on
Correct.
Twitter, and
Speak
they
it.
know what they're doing. So what they're doing is they are moving the goalpost because they know they can get, what did he
Did
say?
you get it, Mel?
I'm sorry, say that again.
I'm
Huh?
sorry. Here, Mel, the chat. Go ahead.
Oh wait, hold on. I didn't see. Hold on.
Oh, no, no, no. That was for Mel. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, sorry, Palace. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm like, I was talking out loud to myself, typing. My bad. I'm that old.
We're all guilty
I
of
mean, for
that.
me,
I
when
talk
I
to all my electronics. I'm
yeah,
so old.
what yeah, when I sit there and how I do every election campaign, I don't think of just electing officials. I consider it like a job interview and a chance to hire and fire who I want to be in here. I know I'm just one person, but the way I think it is when they campaign, they're trying to get a job. And at this point, I could see if you deserve to have it or you need to be fired because I'm the boss. And that's how I like to look at it. I feel like if enough people think that it's not just me electing you, but you begging me for a job and I'm telling you you're hired or not, or you who's been in this position for far too long, I could turn around and say you should be fired. That's how I looked at it this way. Because, it's a far privilege to be a public servant, and I think that is using it as unfortunately
Money
means of
grabs.
their own. And I always feel like these people doing it, there's somewhere along the line they're getting a kickback and
Right.
money at our
Most
expense. I don't trust anybody besides
They
my
get
Lord and
everything that
Savior.
we're not even
But
allowed to get. Like when you think about it, I've been yelling for years, why can't we all have health care? But every single representative, every
yeah,
single congressperson, they all get it for free. But then they sit around and tell us there's no way for us to do it. How can we get free
They
health care
tell
for
us how
everybody?
dare we get an
It's so
entitlement
annoying.
program. They call
Exactly.
it
And
an
they all fucking
entitlement. Yeah.
entitled. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm yelling. Let me put myself on mute.
yeah.
Sorry.
It's the first time power.
That's okay. But it is. It is. And they give you all the thing. And that's especially on the federal level, as soon as they get that level of government, they get free healthcare for themselves, for their family, for the
We need to
rest of their life.
cancel
So if they
that.
do
We
just
need to
one
cancel
term,
all Congress
one
people getting
yeah,
free health care and all of their benefits
It's
until they
never
do
gonna
their
happen.
job.
It's
yeah,
never
They
gonna happen.
need to punch
yeah.
in,
And
punch out, and we need to see the hours.
Yeah.
That's it.
and think
No
about it like
shine
this.
right
When
on
we
that.
when we add a job, yeah, because think about it, what job gives you a lifetime benefits that you'll like, say for example, let's look at Congress. They there for like a minimum of 6 years, and you mean tell me all I have to do is be in it for 6 years and for the rest of my life I get the best health
Mhm.
care in the world, me and my family? But me, I could be working a job for at a regular job for 20 years and make me leave and I
All
lose
40
of
all my
years.
benefits
40 years.
mhm.
And if you leave,
and you
then you
lose
have a
all your
Cobra
benefits.
copay that's like half of your new unemployment insurance to lay you off
Yeah.
the
Correct.
leg until you get settled
Mhm.
again.
And curves too. And that let's not talk about Luigi. How people how people feel about him.
Oh,
What's Luigi? What's that?
But let me say this too.
Luigi
Let's not talk.
Mangione.
But I'll say this too. What I'm so frustrated too with the MAGA people again, because I'm listening to everything y'all said, and I think y'all agree with me. What I'm frustrated is that I'm not closed-minded. I listen. But before there was, I think that Trump, in my opinion, is like a national terrorist. That's what I feel about him.
Absolutely.
So when
We
people say,
second
"Oh
that.
well, the Democrat," no, no, no. I don't want to do a debate about what Democrat. No, he's not a Democrat, Republican. He is something totally different. My issue is with them also is that they come to your table every morning in all newspapers and podcasts and television programs with a list of problems, but not one solution. Not one
None.
solution that is rational that can fix things. So I mean, not to talk about something that's controversial, but let's talk about abortion. Let's talk about that subject. Not too detailed because it's just touchy to talk about on YouTube. You have they don't.
Mhm.
So you have a woman. I was watching this program. You have a woman who's married in Rust Belt who happens to have hereditary issues in her family with people having pregnancies, and sometimes it could be life threatening, terrible life threatening for the baby and for herself. So now she has to go and learn about therapeutic options to protect herself and her family. In certain states, that is considered a crime. But under Trump and people like him, they will force a person to go down that road to risk their lives and their baby's life and those
Well,
medical
what about
issues.
the brain dead woman in Georgia, right?
Yeah,
And she was 9 weeks when she got in a horrible accident and she was legally brain dead, and the doctors forced her to keep alive at the parents' expense who wanted to terminate her because she had a fetus inside of her. that was finally born at like 23 weeks, and they finally took the lady off life support, and now they want the parents to care for this disabled baby.
And then that occurs again. You got to the point before I can even go there. That's the point right there. Simple fact is, you force people to be in these situations where the medical community is trying to, in sensitive ways, trying to figure out these very complicated situations. But the government or the people that's forcing Americans to go down this road, they don't want to take care of the woman. They don't want to take care of the baby when they come when it for, you know for
That
the
was Handmaid's Tale, you guys. That
yeah.
whole
So
thing right there was Handmaid's Tale. In
no
our
solutions.
it
No
was
Yeah.
an experiment to see
I'm
what we would do,
yeah,
and nobody's done anything about
no
it.
no
But you know
solutions. So
what's
that's the thing.
crazy?
That's the frustrating part.
and to me that situation was really sad because I had a family member um that was considered brain dead, and I thought that was very strange that they had asked the family to keep her what because there's two things. When you're brain dead, they have two options. They have comfort care, which is hospice, and they have extended care, which they'll do everything to keep your body alive per se.
Yes.
And I remember that they were on me on having him on comfort care. They relocate me because they thought it was really crazy of me wanting to believe that my loved one would probably make it through. I still remember the neurologist coming into the room. Never met him. He only did his examination virtually through the online through the computer because they had a cap on my relative's head at the time. And the one time he actually saw me was to tell me how I should sit down there and have my loved one on comfort care because he's already dead.
That's
And
crazy.
but yet with this woman, they sit down here and say, no, we need to keep her alive. And the first thing I thought about is, I know you guys know she's no longer with us, and you allow this family to
Right.
suffer just so you could use her as an experiment because and I know I'm sounding like a conspiracy
No,
theory, but I've been
no,
hearing how
no.
they're doing
That's what I'm saying.
artificial wounds, and they wanted to see what they can and cannot do. And they wanted to know what they could get away with if they could actually have a baby be born or be in a wound like situation with no
Yeah,
brain activity, and what would the baby be
Mhm.
turned out. So I'm not surprised they want to.
in our
This
face.
is an
And it's
experiment.
like,
They
where's
use this
freaking
lady
PETA
as
though? Would
a
PETA
guinea
be
pig, and
upset
it's
if this was
horrible.
a mouse getting experimented on? Like, where's the
Yeah.
outrage?
You know what also tripped me out when I was telling you about that documentary that I watched? A bigger part of the documentary that really tripped me out was when a woman was able to get the A word, she had to go before 12 white men. All of them were white and they were all male. So no female representation and nobody of color. That's all white men. And she had to agree to be sterilized. So if you were gonna go have this A word, you had to agree to be sterilized. And I'm like, so that's why when I watched that documentary, it's such a good documentary. It's called Reversing Row. I never thought that we would ever be in a position to go back to that, but we're here. And that's why I say they're
And that's
shredding
what
our rights, and we're not even, me included, because like I said, I'm over here in bliss, like got my head in the sand because I can't. But we're not even really fighting against it. It's like all of the things that we've all mentioned on here. Where's the fight? Where
Right.
do we even
These
start the fight?
protests are
That's
not,
what I'm saying.
the protests aren't even enough. In Handmaid's Tale, they were still protesting, getting put in the vans on their way to Gilead to get a red robe or a freaking blue robe. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? And so we're just like, I'm like, well, I know as far as like me personally, like I don't really feel like going out there and being first because the pawns get shot first. And but at the same time, I'm like, what can collectively get done? It's like he wants us to sue him. That's the other thing. So it can become a new law. So he's challenging the law, and two things are happening where the challenge of the law and doing it, and more people do it. Now this is the new way to do it. So you just made it new. So now the law is undone. Plus, if you sue me about what I'm just doing now that's breaking the law, then now I have these Supreme Court people and the justices who are not doing justice, they're doing just us them. And they are freaking stacking the deck every time a new
Mhm.
challenge to his breaking of a
Mhm.
law then they find in his favor. So now his lie became a truth again. And it's just all these like fake alternative facts becoming truth is so eerie. But what
It
can
is.
you do to offset it is my question. Would suing him, class action suit, he would love that shit. He would love to have all our names on a piece of paper.
Right.
Laura, can I ask you? Because I remember on I think it was a couple of days ago, it was kind of like a fable or lore about, when you say, God help me, and he
Oh
helps you,
yeah.
but you
So
don't see it. This atmosphere is exactly, it's
yeah.
like we had the Handmaid's Tale. We're like, oh my God, like,
Mhm.
how can this happen? And then everything in that situation happened, and everybody's sitting on their asses.
Also already had a Holocaust.
The boat and the
Right.
guy stranded in the flood. And he's like, oh, God help
They
me.
built
God sends him a
concentration camps.
boat. God
Look
send
at
him a
this shit.
horse.
They
God
built
send him a
concentration
dragonfly.
camps this time, you guys. For them to have the nerve, the emboldenment to build the concentration camps in our face.
Well, it is Gilead. We're going towards Gilead. There, like in Maine, I am in Washington State. There are people who are being literally stopped. People who thought they had green cards. Literally every day is news of another Washingtonian who went to visit because they came, they got their green card, got their American wife and kids, and
Yeah,
they voted for the orange thing.
yeah,
And then now they came over. They're like, hey, you know what? You had a DUI. And we found like you had, they're like, but that was cleared. And immigration, these are white people. Immigration said, we don't care. You're not coming back for 10 years. So it's like a sob story of all of these people say, yeah, it's only the criminals. Dude, you did the crime. And now they can come and they cry, oh, my poor 5 children, and this and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know why. I'm like, am I being like desensitized? Because I don't care about your story. You voted for this, man. I'm sorry. You're white. You want to be completely. It's like, if it doesn't happen to me, poof, no problemo. It's happening to you now. From here to Maine. Forget
Mhm.
the southern border.
You know
They're
what's the
being
worst
blocked.
is I feel like that the people that are in these situations and in these rooms that are making these laws or doing these things or whatever, it's crazy to me that you can compartmentalize it. You know what I'm saying? Like
No, they
I'm
said
like,
they didn't vote for that. They didn't vote for
no, no,
them
no.
being
I'm talking about
deported.
no, I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the people that are actually making these things happen, meaning the people that are in the room that are saying, yeah, we can do this, and how, like with Elon, what he was doing with firing all the people and all that kind of stuff. I'm saying, how can you compartmentalize whatever it is your viewpoint is, whether it's on keeping coal, dirty this, dirty that, tax breaks, whatever it is that your thing is that you can compartmentalize. I'm like, how do you compartmentalize humanity?
You're
Like
trying to
something that you
understand
know,
psychotic
well,
people.
okay,
but
okay. You
right, that's true.
let me
I
tell you
can.
how. Ding, 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 ding. Does anybody else have the answer before I say mine?
My answer is that they don't see people as humans; they see people as numbers. And this is as old as time. I mean, if you look throughout history, you always have the same people playing the same games, and everybody's a pawn. To me, it always feels like it's always about gaining power
Right,
and money, and it's just different players but the same game. I like to go and watch the documentary of King Henry VIII. I just find that to be fascinating. But every time I watch it, it's always the Catholics against the Protestants. But I could easily make it like it's the Republicans against
right.
the Democrats. It's two people of two different sides. They're arguing about these one two things, but at the end of the day, when you really see behind them, they're the
Right.
same folks. They just want to get the money and want to get the power, and they're doing whatever they can. They don't want to be the head. They just want to be the one to control the head. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? And that's kind of what
I
it
say
is.
we follow Lodge's newfound rule, soft life. I have watched it till 2027. Okay, I'm not getting engaged. Let them fight. The people who voted for him, who are getting their butts, their leopard eat their face.
Yeah.
Let them protest. I am not getting engaged. I'm not getting rage
Right.
baited. I am not. I am buying your t-shirt. Soft life. That's it.
Right.
I
Right.
It's not my problem. We voted. We did the right thing. They're not listening, and now they're getting the consequences. What
Now
do you
they're all
want
getting
me to
black.
tell you?
We were like screaming during the civil rights movement, this is happening. They were screaming during the initial revolution between the haves and the have-nots, which to me is the biggest ism that is overlooked the most, and all the other isms to me are offshoots of the
Mm-hmm.
main ism, which is classism, which is the haves and the have-nots, which is what we're seeing. The haves are tempering the have-nots and placing us in places in order for to gain control in a capitalistic way off of our existence. And so there's that. But the reason that people are compartmentalizing humanity to me is because of racism, because they've been practicing on Black people, dehumanizing an entire race of two-legged beings walking with the same beating heart next to you for so long that it was like frogs in a boiling water. Now that it's your turn, kind of, it's like, oh, do you jump or do you stay in the water? But the only reason that there's this huge void for humanity is because we've been seeing it en masse towards certain groups of people, my group, your group, insert group here. You know what I'm saying? And so when it finally becomes everybody's turn, everybody's getting caught up in the ice raid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh shit, they were right. Oh shit, that's what he was talking about. So he was complying. You know what I mean? Like, so it's
The
so many.
guy didn't lie, Larja. He said he's gonna deport people. Who do they think? I think they thought he was gonna deport African, or the original
There,
black people. It's like, dude, we were here before you all grandparents came
yeah.
here. Okay, done.
Everybody see
And now,
the post
It's
of
the
him
audacity that
getting
they think
asked
that
the
they were here
question
first.
by
That's
the
what kills
reporter
me.
about what about Melania? Is she gonna have is isolating her because she's and what about Barron is an anchor baby? Like he's like,
Baron
you're
the
evil.
Anchor Baby, you have to make a T-shirt
It's
or a cap.
Barron is
I'm
an
it's
anchor
dead.
it's
baby. Don't
hilarious how
forget.
they went and voted and think that they wasn't included into the equation. And it's like every time I watch, it's like, really, you guys, the man literally said what he said, and somehow in their head, they're like, oh no, he's not referring to
Uh-huh.
me. Oh no, he's not talking about me. And it's like, it's hilarious. Like, they really were deluded. And then, like they said, when they said they were going after criminals first, they have to understand they are using every little thing that is considered a crime and say, oh, well, you had a DUI. That's a considered a crime. Yeah, you're now eligible to be deported. Like, yeah,
Yes,
you gotta
Anchor Baby
you
T-shirt.
gotta you it's like a contract. You gotta read the fine print and the footnotes
To
and
the
the
person that's
margins
telling
on the
you
side.
is a registered sex
Right.
person that
And
wants
a
to
whole
watch
ass
your
criminal.
pedals.
Like, what are you talking about? That's the
Yeah,
irony for me. I'm just like, wow.
it was, but it's so funny. It's like I said, no, man. That's why I sit down here and say, you have to really, really, really look at these folks, and then when you see them, like, oh no, I want this and that. I said, you don't understand, but I'm gonna let y'all believe this
Yep.
I
foolishness.
feel like
I don't get upset. I just have to, yeah.
no, I was gonna say I just
Sorry.
feel like people who are other intelligent people in the world that are not from here have to be sitting back looking like, I can't believe this bullshit. Are y'all that dumb? Like, because that's what I'm looking at it like. I'm just like, oh my God. Y'all are really, this is something
And,
y'all really think is okay. And I think the worst part of it is that the people, because I don't think all of the people that are in the Trump Nation or whatever you want to call it, I don't think they all
Yeah.
agree with everything that's going on. But I think that they realize that if they don't agree, they won't have their position, wherever that might be in the world. It's like he has that much power over it and be like, okay, well, I have to say that I agree with this man because there's nothing else I can do. I won't be able to be, and that's the part where you have to have something called
Do you
integrity.
guys think that the MAGA hat could be the mark of the beast?
I don't know. Whenever he got shot, I was like, what is happening?
I wouldn't give him that much credit.
I was like, my husband was
I
like,
don't give him
what was
that much.
crazy? I was actually playing spades on my computer, and somebody put in the chat.
Woo.
Remember when he got that the shot or whatever that happened to him when he was at that campaign, whatever. And somebody, when I
Uh-huh.
was I was playing spades. They was like, "Did you know President Trump got?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" I thought they were lying. And then I saw it. I was like, "Oh my god!" But it felt like a setup. If because him doing that thumbs up, I was like, "Oh my god, they are going to set
Yeah.
this shit. He's gonna get elected, just because of that. He gonna get elected." But all I thought was, "Is this the part of the Bible that they said?" Listen, if you'll know because the person gets shot by the head or something happens to their head. I'm like, I don't know. It does feel like we're in our last times. I mean, what do they call the last days? All our grandparents would always scare us and be like, "We living in our last days." I believe shit now. I'm like,
Your
this
grandparents
definitely
and
feels
that
that
crazy
way.
man on the corner.
Yeah, yeah. But when you look at all the thing, and that's why I'm saying when I was telling y'all about the documentary I watched, that I never thought this could happen. All of the things that I thought never could happen because of how advanced
Yep.
we are happening, and that's why I'm like, maybe this is our last time.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
kind of like, how can we be on the edge of flying cars and jets and
Correct.
horses and
Sign me up
still
for the
be so
Jetsons.
antiquated and medieval in our humanity?
That's what I'm saying. It's
Well,
bananas. I
to
can't.
be think about it, to be honest, the whole like Baptist. I apologize for all the Baptist religious people. I'm not religious, but I
There's a
do
lady
respect religion.
speaking in her opinion. That's all she's saying.
Yeah, so it's I am
Yeah.
saying like they always talk about the end of days, and da, da, da. The thing is, they literally signed up for Lucifer,
Hmm.
who was disguised as, oh, I am a God person, who has never been a God person.
Right.
And so, what do you want? You want the end of days? Hey, the big guy up there listening to you, he's going to be like, okay, you want that? Let's test it. So, he's letting it test and see what happens. I don't think they're going to win because this is too outrageous. There is no person in 2025 that has a couple of brain cells that will go, you know what, we want to go back to Auschwitz and the Nazis, and because
But
this is exactly what
but
is happening.
that's
And
what
Well,
I'm saying.
I
Though.
have a
You
theory.
can't
it is
think
I have,
that
the
way
I have a
handmaid's
because
theory.
tale.
it's
I,
happening. That's the problem. It's
I have
No,
happening.
but they're not gonna win. They brought this because
We didn't
of
think Trump was gonna
racism.
win, but he won.
No, he
Like even the
didn't
first
win.
time, I didn't believe that. I was like, there
He
ain't no
didn't
way he's
win.
gonna.
He's a cautionary tale. It's like,
But
if
it's
you
twice
believe in
now, though.
God, I didn't hear what you said. Say
Hmm?
that again. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, I was saying, but it's twice now. Because I didn't believe
Yeah,
this. I certainly didn't believe it could
because
happen the
they
first
didn't
time,
listen
and
to
then it
him
happened
the
again.
first time.
Oh my god.
they pretended it was all peaches and cream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now they're seeing the real person. Like, if he told you the first time, it got nipped in the bud. Biden came, and then he got cookie. Fine, okay, he was da 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 da, but he restored a little bit of sanity. Then they brought him back, and I think the big guy is going, "Yo, guys, you guys handle this. See how we do." He's tried. He sent you the boat. He sent you the helicopter. He sent you everything. What do you want? Let them fight it off. It's
I would
not
like
our
to go
fight.
back to 2008. Let me start.
Yes. Pre
Right.
2008.
Mm-hmm.
Uh
Wow.
yes.
It
You
does
hit it
feel like
right
we
there.
need a
That and
reset
wasn't that
button.
the wasn't that the first season of Housewives of
Probably.
Atlanta too?
Oh my God,
Probably.
you're funny.
I was
Oh God.
28. Lord Jesus, what I would do to go back to being
Oh, thanks,
28.
Mel. That was fun. Oh,
I
look,
love
I'm just
Mel.
now seeing he left me. Right
Hmm.
on. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Pre 2008. Here's one thing. I have to say one thing to kind of lighten up the
Yes.
conversation, so I'm no here, but I want to mention Nene because she did mention on Humber Brag that her son
Hmm.
is back in the
Right.
hospital.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, so
Oh.
yes. So a lot of people were saying that the reason why she didn't go on trades because it was
It
for the
was about
money,
that.
but
Yeah.
she revealed that
Hmm.
apparently, yeah, I think he was in the hospital like from as far as May, and he went back because unfortunately his heart was rejecting. He had a heart transplant
Oh
and it
my
was
God.
rejecting, so she had to go back to the hospital. So that's something that's really interesting, and that goes back to say to people like we really don't know what people are going through
Right.
Hmm.
and what there's stuff, and people just assume Nene is this like mean girl all the time, and because she doesn't tell everything, all her business, which I don't blame Nene. Nene's like me. I ain't gonna tell you all my business,
Exactly.
especially the way you be moving around me in these streets and want to talk about me, and you pretend to be my friend and bringing out friend contracts. I'm gonna, especially if it comes with something serious, I'll be very guarded on who knows my business.
Plus,
She
But yeah, but
that's
I
her
just
son's
think that's
business even more than it is hers. So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
yes,
Like, just let him whatever he feels like should. And I agree with you with what you're saying about Nene. But I think there's a subset of America, or I'll say viewership, that just don't want to see that lady win. I do feel that way.
Yep,
I
that
no.
think lots of
is
people
They
love
don't,
her,
and I
but
keep
they
it
just don't want
100.
to see her win. I don't know what it is. It's weird.
they can't touch her.
It's it's
She
weird.
is like she's the golden, like she's the golden goose. Like she does not play around with people. If you come at her, you'll get served properly. But I think on the Cynthia and that and whatever the Beverly's Hill girl,
Mm-hmm.
she explained she was supposed to be on the next Raiders, but because of her son's condition, she declined.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Portia slid in. And
I can't. Mhm.
She thinks it wasn't her. They see things because remember when they do traders, they don't know who's going to be in it. That's the whole point of traders. They don't know who is going to be the final cast until they actually get into the whole to the to Scotland, to the mansion, to the castle, because that was the whole point. So she says she thinks that Portia
uh,
probably got it, but she's not. No, because Tamar's
Is
on it,
she?
believe it or not, and I'm going to see it for Tamar. Yeah, she said
I
that
can't
she
with
was known that
Tamar.
Tamar
I
was
used
on
to
it.
love some Tamar, but
I
she
but I
I
love messiness.
know, me
So
too.
I'm definitely going to watch the
no,
season.
it's because
Yeah,
with
I love it.
Tamar,
And
it's like I bought into Tamar the first however many years she was on the what is it called, the Braxton Family Values.
the Braxton.
But then and I was team her, like really was team her. Thought she was such good TV. You know what I'm saying? But then she just it's one of those people where everybody else is wrong at every stage of your life. Is everybody else? So now I'll say it's you. So I can't, and I feel like she's one of those celebrities or whatever you want to call it that crashed and burned and doesn't realize she should just go away and like just try to live a life. It's
Uh-oh.
becoming very thirsty in the sense of like I'm gonna be on any reality TV show that they'll let me on. Cause she
Tamar
was
is
winning.
not serious. She's a buffoon, but a
What
good
she is.
buffoon.
No,
Don't
she
And
ask me why.
I can't with you and the good buffoon. But no, I agree. I agree with you. I just wish that she would wake up and because you know how you have those child stars and it's like they should have just remained who
Yeah.
they were, like a mystery of whatever they were, but they were really good as a child star and just
Yeah,
remained.
like I hate when
It's
I
like,
find out they're like, you know,
yeah, and I just want her to
file
just be
a
like,
file or a racist or like a
or
woman
just
beater,
whatever,
and it's like, damn, and I liked every movie, like you know what I mean,
everything.
and it's like very
Yeah, just go away and stop. Like, oh my god, she's ruining her own
yeah,
legacy. That's the reason that
and
I have a problem with her. You know what I mean? It's like,
Taylor doesn't care about herself.
I
Seriously,
agree
she
with
does
you.
not.
when I saw that interview she did with Eady, it's to me I summed it up with a lack of
Correct,
self awareness.
$1,000%. Yes.
She lives in her
Hmm.
head,
And she's
and
delusional.
her
Hmm.
like her yes, like her in her world the sky is pink with
Yep.
purple bubblegum
Hmm.
pasted clouds and
A
there's
thousand percent.
unicorns and everybody's like we love Tamar, she's so amazing, and and she could do no wrong. But when you try to show her reality, she turns on this victim mentality, and it's like it's exhausting. Sometimes you just
Yes.
have to be like,
She's
okay,
the
Tamar,
epitome of
you're
she's
right.
the epitome of
Okay,
someone who really believes her own hype. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yes.
like when they try to tell you, like, calm
Thank
down,
you.
you're right. She believes it. She believes literally. Whenever I saw that episode where she was trying to say that Tony Braxton isn't the reason that she's, you know, who she was becoming at the time, because it was
Yeah,
her
right.
season, I would give it to her. But it's like, girl, y'all wouldn't even have
Girl.
a show if Tony Braxton wasn't signed on to the
If it
line.
wasn't for
Period.
Tony
End
Braxton,
story.
yes.
And I understood what Tamar was trying to say, but it was one of those things that you just don't say. Like, what she was trying to say was, listen, I had to get up. I had to go do the, you know, auditioning. I had to go do the, you know, whatever the hard work was to have her album become whatever it was at the time. I understood that was her point, but you don't make that point at the table with a legend. Like, you just not gonna do that. Like, Lee Tony,
Yes.
she's always gonna be classy. You not. Tamar
Mm-hmm.
is the epitome of, what do you call it? Hood rich. She thinks that because she has on red bottoms, she can't be ghetto. That's what she thinks. She a
She's the
ghetto
I call
superstar.
that new
Lulu.
money
She's just
energy.
the Lulu,
The
and you
Lulu. I love it.
sometimes like, but she's not harmful. I think.
I'm not playing with you. But go ahead. I'm listening.
No, I'm not stand up. I'm not stand up for Tamar with her mess and her mouth. She is horrible. The
Mhm.
shit. I'm sorry, Lotta. The crap she says is on. But like you watch her. This is like you, you hit on a point about her sister
Mhm.
because she thought she was better than her sister, but her sister is the reason she's even
Mhm.
anything, and that pisses her off. But
Mhm.
she's a petulant
Yep.
child. When you,
Mhm.
it's like Huda. When you catch her and you pick her up and sit her and say, "Yo," she goes, "Oh, eyelashes batting. Oh no, I didn't
Mhm.
mean it." Did you see the interview with Nene? It was like,
I
I'm like,
didn't.
"Who
I haven't
are
watched any, but
you?"
I want to go.
That's not the Tamar we know because she knew Nene was gonna check her.
Mhm.
It's like,
Ooh,
look,
Here.
it's complicated.
She's
I wish I wish that interview they showed more of it because Nene at least admitted that she had to cut so much of the interview. And to me, it was like, if
hey
that was
babe.
the extreme edited version, I can imagine
and
the
you know what
raw
the crazy
edit.
part is?
Because Tamar
The
was
thing
just
about that's
unhinged.
crazy to me is that Tamar ushered in so many shirt worthy quotes. You know what I'm saying? Like when you go on the Gibson, you go find her and Nene. I feel like they are just like neck and neck, and like the quotes that they have. Cause she brought us "Try Me Not," "Oh She Tried It," or you know all of the things that are Tamarisms, and it's so good. She's good for TV. She's just not good for all the TV. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's a good person. She's watchable. She's just a train wreck now, and I feel bad because I used to like
Yeah,
her so
Nene
much.
is the best
She's her
person
own
to
worst
have an
enemy.
interview with Tamar because Tamar knows what's up. Because Nene will like
And
indulge her like a 3-year-old, and then if she start pushing Nene's like one look, and Tamar's like,
Right, right.
okay, all
Nini's like
right,
that
it's not
church
a
lady.
kitty.
because
Yeah.
when
The church lady that had a good
yeah,
candy.
because
Yeah.
when
That's Nini. Go ahead.
yes, because when she went off on what's her name again? Lena Love. What was it? Lena from the Real, and she
Oh,
called that
Lonnie
woman out of
Love.
her name, and
Hold on.
even Nene had to
What?
step
Lonnie
back.
Love.
Oh, Lonnie Love. She
Oh,
called
Lana,
Lonnie
yes,
Love out of
yes,
her name.
yes, she called Lala
That's
Big Back Cadillac.
so
hold on.
rude.
What
So
is happening? But Nene sis, come to the front. You didn't do nothing but go to Dr. So and so. That's why you no longer stop
Dave,
it. And I still love
Tamar,
Nene. She got her
Tamar
big back
called.
Cadillac. I'm gonna put that in her too.
No. Tamar
Oh,
called.
Tamar called
Tamar
Lonnie
called. Wait,
I am my papaya.
I
I had it
I
wrong,
missed
and it's
it.
even worse
No,
now
you
that I
missed
have it
it.
right. Oh my god. Okay, I'm putting myself back
Yes,
on mute. Sorry.
yes. Yeah, they even had the little baby versions of it somewhere online where she called
Baby
that one
versions.
Big Back Cadillac.
Oh shit.
Yes,
Oh my god.
like low, like, Curse. Can you find the baby version
My
of that
god, I
interview?
can't
Oh
Oh,
my
speak
the
god,
it.
that thing
the
was
little
nice.
kids doing the interview.
Oh,
Oh, I
The little
love
baby
them.
of that
I
interview
love them.
hey,
The one
I'm
where
so
she's
sorry.
doing Kim Card,
oh
where
wait,
she's
he
arguing
called,
with Kim, or which one? The one where she's
huh?
arguing with Kim Zolciak. Which one?
No, the one where they were doing that interview. Nene Leakes was doing an interview with Tamar, and she was calling
Lonnie Love. I'm not playing with you.
Lorna, Big Lonnie Love,
Oh
Big
my
Bad Cadillac,
that is so mean.
Big Bad
But it's
Cadillac.
so accurate. And she went to PV in Houston, Texas. Mhm.
And that was a mess. Big Bad Cadillac. It's somewhere. It's from that same guy, TG. I'm gonna see if I can find
Oh,
it. That
see,
yes,
this is what
Big
I be
Bad
talking
Cadillac.
about. Epic. Epic. Her and Nene both have epic like lines.
And Nene had to catch herself because she was about to call her that too.
Oh my God. Ooh.
Yes,
Uh-uh.
yes. I remember seeing. I'm gonna see if I can find
Next
it.
time.
Is Love Island
No
coming up?
way. Oh my god. How many commercials are there?
Is it on Love Line Island? Well, it's 5:30 my time.
No. Not till it's only 2:30 here. It comes on at 5:30 California
It's
time.
4:30 my time. But I have to check out. I gotta go buy furniture for my house. So
Oh, I
this
heard
has
that,
been great.
Chanel.
No, I don't even want to
You're
go.
still buying furniture from the fire?
Yeah, I don't even want to go. I'm so tired. But I have to get my life together and go over to the Star Furniture and buy some furniture. I don't feel
I
like it.
heard that. I heard
But
that.
anyway, you guys, this has been
Mine's
great.
good.
I hope you guys
This
have a
has
great
been.
rest of
Thanks
your
for
day.
coming.
It's
Do I
been
have any
great.
mods in the chat? Can somebody drop Chanel's reality
Oh,
channel?
you're
She
so
totally
sweet.
has a channel in these streets
Oh,
for
I
Shirley.
do. Y'all have a good rest of y'all's day, evening,
You
night.
too.
Talk to y'all.
Thank you. You too.
You
Yeah,
too.
Bye.
I've been live now for
This
3
was
hours
fun.
and 40 minutes.
Yes.
So my son is like, when are we going to the store, Mom? I was like, when I'm
Almost
done with
4 hours.
this, but before Love Island. So I have to go. I appreciate you guys
Alrighty.
taking the time out of your Sunday to come up here and spend time with me on Larger Curves.
Love to you, Lasha.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys sharing your POV palaver. For real. I put my at to TikTok 5:30 California time. See you there. Allie from Miami. Love you always.
Yes.
And
Love
thanks
you.
for
And
coming.
I got your number so we could talk.
Yes. And I so we got all that. And we will definitely be talking soon. Thanks to everybody who came up. It's so nice to hear from Mel. And remember, there's enough to go around, people. So go get some. I'll
All
see
right,
you in the next
see you
video.
guys soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks a lot, Palaver. Thanks, Allie. Peace.